with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Mussolini and Kennedy, I'm the cult of personality, the cult of personality, the cult of personality.
Hello, welcome to a Wednesday edition of The Voice of Ocala. What day is it, Tom?
Hump day.
Halfway there. At least we will be halfway there in about an hour and a half, officially. Always glad to be with you every day. Wednesday, of course, is the day we talk to the mayor.
Halfway there in an hour and a half. I've been up since 5:30, pal. I've passed the halfway mark of this day.
You were 3 hours later than me, by the way.
I know.
Just so you know.
I woke up at 5:30, looked at my phone, and I said, what the hell did Buddy text me for at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Emailed you.
Emailed me, yeah. My buddy Jimmy texted me at 3 o'clock in the morning to invite me to a tailgate party.
We talked a lot. Well, that's important. We talked a lot about people who do this, and I've just occasionally done it. How people fall asleep, sleep 4 hours, get up and work 3 or 4 hours, and go back and get 2 hours.
Right.
And sometimes I do that. Except today, I didn't get to 2 hours. I only got about an hour. So,
well, I woke up this morning at amazingly, last night, I got home last night after we left from here doing some stuff for Southern Pigskin. Mm-hmm. I went home, and I was going to do a lot of production work and everything. I sat down. My girlfriend Jennifer had made a fabulous dinner of chicken with tomato sauce and rigatoni noodles.
I didn't get an invite.
So I ate that, got my belly full, and I was sitting there watching TV.
Out.
And I said, it's time to go get to bed. So by 9:30, I was in the bed. So when I woke up at 5:30, I'd had a full night's sleep.
Tom, it's a sign of age.
Yeah. But I got up at 5:30 and got more accomplished in an hour and a half when nobody else was awake.
It's really the best time to do any work. I like to get them about 4:30 or 5 when I can.
And Miss Joni gets up about 7?
Yeah, about 7.
Right. You get so much done.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's
Question
good time
is, what
to
time's
work.
Rennie wake up? Rennie wakes up when Daddy
he
wakes
gets
up.
up. No, he wakes up with Joni. He wakes up, but he didn't get up till the last person's out of the bed. So.
Okay.
So we're boring you with the details of our sleeping habits, but hey, it's Wednesday, and we're glad to be here. Well, you mentioned Southern Pigskin. We admitted this on the other day. We might as well admit it on the air. I don't think we've done a very good job of explaining what that show is. We certainly haven't promoted it that much.
What do you mean?
Southern Pigskin Tonight.
What is that?
Yeah, there you go. And we're pretty proud of it, because let's put it this way. I don't know if the show's any good, but we work hard at it. And I hope people have heard it. I've had a couple of comments on it. You had one or two. People are not sure what it is, but it's an hour every week, which we then repeat on Friday, of just football, mostly college, some professional with Terry Bradshaw.
Who's kicking our butts picking, by the way.
I know. We have him on live today, and then his show will repeat tomorrow night, which go on our station, and it goes to the stations in Georgia.
I like the mayor. Don't get me wrong. Coffee with the Mayor is a good spot on Wednesdays, but my favorite spot on Wednesday now is Terry Bradshaw.
I know.
25,
You always.
35.
You just like to get him
hour
on the
and a
phone
half,
and talk
however
to
long
him.
it is he's on.
Yeah, you talk to him for 5 minutes before I get him on the air. You're jawing back and forth and whatever. Having your own talk show with Terry Bradshaw.
I am his producer.
Yeah. So anyway, he'll join us today at the usual time, and visited with him last night. Incidentally, getting back to Southern Pigskin real quick, I'll tell you Bradshaw's story about his medication issues he's having.
Oh, I saw that. His wife was not happy.
I reposted that last night after I talked to Terry. But the Southern Pigskin Night, what it is it's an accumulation of the interviews we do plus some additional insight commentary that we add, and our friends up in Brunswick, Georgia, who have the 3 and Out show, Kevin, BJ, and Matt. They do a good job of wrapping up and touching on games in the South that we might not be talking about as much. We tend to focus primarily on, schools like Florida State, maybe Georgia a little bit here and there, but and then the national SEC games, et cetera. But what it is a lot of information coming at you in an hour. And I hope people will get a chance to hear it and comment on it and enjoy it, because it's a show that officially is actually syndicated out of this station.
It is syndicated out of this studio, out of WOCA studio, to 5 different radio stations across the country, including this one.
And maybe more.
Right. And right now we're in South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida.
3 states, yeah. And so, and I'm going to just say this one more time, and not again. You do a fabulous job of producing that show. I must say, you really do a good job, and you should be proud of it, because I'm proud of your work there. Speaking of proud, I get to go tonight to speak to the Ocala Quarterback Club.
That's a great club. I went with you last year when my father came and spoke there.
I'd forgotten that you went last year, and I'm trying to remember. And it wasn't to hear me talk, it was to hear David Lamb.
It was here. My dad was in town, and I went and saw him.
And they invited you yesterday. Said, "Well, bring that guy in that you brought last year." And I said, "Well, he's got other things to do now."
I believe my response was, "I hear you talk enough."
No, that's actually what I said. I said that, and I said I hear him. He hears me talk every day. I doubt he wanted me, but anyway. So you'll be unavailable. You got trivia tonight, right?
I do have trivia tonight at Beef O'Brady's on Silver Springs Boulevard.
People wonder, what do you say when you got trivia? What do you mean you got trivia?
It's a trivia game. It's unlike Trivianator. It's actually an 18-question game. Takes about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to play. You have dinner and drinks and play the game, and you can win a $25 gift certificate or a $15 gift certificate. We give away appetizers during the game. We give away a free bottle of barbecue sauce to the team that has the lowest score at the end of the game. So you don't even have to win something at trivia.
We played your game a time or two. And
finished second one time, I remember.
Yeah, and that's all legit. We didn't give us any answers. We did it ourselves.
I wanted you to finish last.
I know you did. You do all you can to embarrass me every day. So, but anyway, you're kind of like the granddaddy of trivia people. You don't go as a Trivianator there, though. You go as Tom Schmitz.
Yeah, I'm Tom Schmitz. I do it at 3 different locations around the city. Yeah. And about to be 4 as soon as Mojo's at the old Horse and Hound location opens.
Yeah, let me tell you about today's show. Coming up at 3:33, the mayor will be here. He wants to talk about a couple of things. He wants to talk about the seal again and Linear Park. I did an interview earlier this week here with Mark Rice for a video that he's doing for the Ocala Symphony Orchestra and their foundation for the auditorium, which is going to be a fabulous project, by the way. It's a fabulous project. And in that interview, I talked about Linear Park a little bit. And I realized as I was talking that Mark, although he's knowledgeable and is a great teacher and his associate, didn't know a lot about Linear Park. Now, we assume everybody knows about Linear Park because we've talked about it for 3 years on this program. But I dare say, one of the things about the mayor that I think I have a great respect for, he's a storyteller, and he carries those stories and he retells them. And you know in this business that you got to tell it over and over and over and over again for it to stick. So Linear Park is a subject the mayor wants to talk about today, and it'll tie right in with the subject and the state of real estate coming up at 4 o'clock, because I've got one of your favorite people coming today you don't even know about.
Actually, one of my favorite people. But you know it's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
I just don't know they're coming.
You know one's coming, but you don't know the other one's coming.
So Nate Garcia's coming.
No, he's not coming. No, Albert Peake is coming.
Well, I love Albert Peake.
Bryce Peake is coming.
Bryce is one of my favorite people.
So I knew that.
Bryce is really one of my favorite people.
Bryce is going to be here today, so the father and son will be here.
You don't find a kid 26, 27 years old with that good a head on his shoulder very often.
He's not a kid. He's really a young man now. He's to me, he's a kid in terms of age, but he's not a kid mentally. He's very mature.
He's advanced past me mentally.
Yeah, who's I think would be a great.
He's got you mentally, I think.
Oh wow, that's not saying much.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But anyway, so Bryson and will be here, and Albert. We're going to talk about some stories. The one quote I want to get back to with Albert today is the one where he made a comment about what happens in taxes in terms of when you raise the real estate taxes, although we say it's not that much.
You're messing with his 401k.
To people who own a lot of land, it's a lot of money.
It is.
And that's his business, and that's where his savings are. And like you say, it's 401. Speaking of which, I went to get a 401k today and had to go over there and talk to I won't say who it is, my broker, if you call it that, the guy that I talked to about
the guy that controls the Martin Millions.
Yeah, right. And he made he's a very conservative guy, doesn't say too much, and he did say, look, you probably ought to take out a little more because you have to take out so much a year. Just government makes you do it.
They make you do it.
He said, because I said, I got a feeling the taxes are going to be raised on this soon. That means that you're going to be paying more out of your entitlements in your 401k.
Well, that's what he's there for. He's there to give you that kind of advice.
Yeah, so, we're talking about hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars. But, just saying that.
Oh, so you didn't dent the Martin millions much?
Not much, no.
Okay.
No,
I can't.
It was a dent for me. For nobody else, it
I can't expect anything extra in my pay package.
You can expect it if you'd like. It'd be hard to expect it. So, anyway, on the show today, we got that. Of course, we had Terry Bradshaw at 5:30. So, catch up with him. The guy who Ebola patient in Dallas is dead now.
No longer with us.
And we'll talk about that after the break. Television rankings. Terry Bradshaw made an offhand comment about Fox today. I didn't really pick up on it. Now, this story, though, makes me see what he's talking about. You might be surprised what's happening to the major networks in television. I'll tell you about that. Watching some of the new shows, by the way. I haven't got a chance to finish watching Gotham on Fox, which is about the only thing Fox has got, by the way.
You were watching that?
I started watching it. Yeah, I just want to see what it's like. It's a little different kind of show. Anyway, and then, of course, more talk about how about possible tidal waves in the United States.
No.
It's hard to believe.
Come on, you're making that up.
Yeah, it's just another one of the reports out of Washington. There's down the road someplace, not now, maybe 15 years. We'll tell you what's behind that. All that plus tweets and quotes this hour, and we got the mayor at 3:30, so stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source. Eye Care Center of Ocala is centered on patient satisfaction. Our friendly doctors and staff are here to serve all of your family's eye care needs under one roof. Our optometric physicians take great pride in offering every patient the absolute best in vision care, utilizing state-of-the-art technology. We're located about 2 miles west of I-75 on State Road 200. You can schedule an appointment for the Eye Care Center by going to www.eyecarecenterofocala.com, or you can call us at 352-512-0560.
Imagine yourself in a quaint bistro right in the heart of a charming French village about to indulge in real French cuisine. Located in beautiful, vibrant downtown Ocala, La Cuisine offers authentic French cuisine and wine from an award-winning menu. Patrice and Elodie moved to Ocala in 2009 because they fell in love with it. And you're going to fall in love with La Cuisine if you haven't already. La Cuisine offers a quick bite for lunch or a leisurely dinner in a comfortable and relaxed setting. So call La Cuisine of Ocala today at 352-433-2570. It's like a direct call to Paris.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan. I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate and the McDonald Agency. Established in 1985, we have offices in Ocala and the Villages to better serve you. Give us a call at 622-2333. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Are you in good hands?
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Robin, how do you like my design?
You're designing a box?
That's not a box. It's a doghouse.
Rough draft for your rough? Sounds like you need personal service.
I do?
Yes, to print the blueprints. See Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can print blueprints, notarize permit applications, print and mail out invoices, and even provide great-looking business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
It's a fact you can save money on your utility bill with shade trees all around the house. And right now, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens continues their fabulous truckload tree sale. Gorgeous trees, practically every variety you can imagine, in about every size, from extra large all the way up to gigantic super jumbos, with prices starting as low as $49.99. Come on out and see for yourself. Check this week's ad for big veggie packs. Perfect for fall planting, just $2.25. And how about this one? White onion bulbs, 10. Yes, 10 for $1. Truckload sale now on wonderful red ruffle ever-blooming azaleas, just $24.99 for 6 of them. And a special selection of knockout roses starting at $9.99. What are you waiting for? Get on over to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. This week, open daily 9 to 4, Saturdays till 2. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, growing greener with Ocala since 1952.
Yeah, we got making yourself another terrific day. A little hotter today. You like it, I don't. I like the weather we had over the weekend, which is, I love that 50-degree morning or 48-degree morning, and it cools off, and then it gets a little bit warmer in the daytime. But what great weather now for football season, and for folks going up to Gainesville to see the LSU game on Saturday. It should be nice. It should be really nice.
I like my Duke Energy bill. Will like it a whole lot better.
I know.
Because I sleep with the windows open.
You're getting a rebate. You're getting a rebate, according to what I read. Duke Energy's giving rebates to people. They owe a bunch of money.
They're supposed to send money back to us, but I ain't holding my breath till it gets there. You know what I mean?
It's not there today? No, okay. But beautiful weather, and I don't know, I was trying to say, if my favorite month was March or October. I'm kind of siding with October. Because you can get some really brutal weather, unless you get a hurricane in October. Which
then it's no fun.
Yeah, but you can get some brutal weather in March, too, as you know, with the storms and stuff. But anyway, it's a great time of year to be here in the great state of Florida, and enjoy it, because the snowbirds are coming pretty quick, and your seats at the restaurants won't be as easy to get.
No, it's already filling up. The golf course is already filling up.
Well, yeah, and I got to get down. I'm going to go down here either next week or after to Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and see my buddy Dave. And because, that's a
talking about Chef Dave Del Rio.
Yeah, and hey, and when you get like a 58-degree day or something, at about around 6:30 at night, the sun's going down on Eaton's Beach, it is spectacular down there.
And remember, when you go in there and you order your dinner, as you order your entree or something, when you sit down for dinner, just let Dave Del Rio know that he owes you a drink with your dinner.
Yeah.
For just listening to our program. So just you go in, you order your dinner. When the server says, what kind of drink do you want with your dinner? Well, Dave Del Rio said he's going to buy mine with my dinner. My first one with my dinner.
I don't know how much longer that's going to go. I'd say this. I don't know any other restaurant locally that'll give me a drink with my dinner.
Right. You go in, you order dinner, and the first drink's on the chef if you get dinner.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah. I would encourage you to take advantage of it, because I got a feeling it's not going to last very long.
Dinner and a drink, and not have to pay for the drink. That's a big not have to pay for.
For sure. All right, you read about this Ebola patient, I guess.
I did. Thomas Eric Duncan,
first person to have been diagnosed with the virus. He's been getting the experimental drug, which I can't really pronounce. It's like Benzodiazepine or something. And in the hospital out in Texas, he was treated out there. Said he'd been on the ventilator and been receiving dialysis, so he was pretty bad off when he got it.
Right.
And this continues. It's like we said when it first started, Tom. We know it's going to be worse than they're telling us.
Well, my issue here with this case is he was turned away twice by the hospital before they finally took him in the third time. if they'd have thought the seriousness of it was Ebola originally, would that 7 days have made a difference?
Good point. Good point. And he's 42 years old.
Right. He's young.
And of course, anytime anybody dies of a disease like that, it's critical. It's terrible. But so people say, well, you're exaggerating. No, I'm not. If there's a disease out there that's as deadly as this, and there's a possibility of it getting in my community, I'm concerned about it. I don't care how people say, well, it's in Africa. No, it's like saying hurricanes are in Africa. They come here. While I don't think there's a need to panic about it, I don't think we put enough emphasis. I fault particularly the healthcare system and the folks at CDC and the President of the United States for not doing a better job of seeing to it that we were prepared to deal with some of these things. And I see now we've got 5 airports apparently that were being used for screening for Ebola now.
Well, it just makes no sense. Flights from West Africa to England and to France and to Spain have stopped.
Well, that's what ought to happen.
Why haven't they stopped here?
Good question.
That's how you stop the spread. You don't let people in the country from that region.
Unless they're doctors and nurses and people that got to go there. And I don't know, Dr. Nancy Snyder of NBC, she's still over there, I guess.
No, she's back in the States. She's back. 21-day quarantine, self-quarantine.
Okay. All right, I know she's quarantined.
And her camera, one of her cameramen,
I know he's in bad shape.
He's getting a blood transfusion from the first doctor that was cured of it because they happen to have the same blood.
Yeah, he was actually a freelance guy who worked with them and their crew. So anyway, just that one of those mystery stories. Let's talk about television for a second.
I like TV. I watch it a lot.
Well, it's a good, cheap entertainment. And if you got certain programs to watch, I like it because I can work and watch something, sort of. And sports and news and occasionally a good program like The Good Wife. I have not seen any of the Tuesday night lineup yet. And NCIS, I have not seen NCIS New Orleans yet. Let
me tell you something.
I'm going to watch it tonight.
That's a good program.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight. I like him.
I'm watching
Scott
Bakula.
Bakula, yeah.
Now that I'm so NCIS'd up with Los Angeles and New Orleans, and we need to have an NCIS Ocala. That's what we need to have.
Right, we do.
Let the mayor star in it.
Yeah, and I tried to find the research. Trying to find the ratings last weekend on TV on Saturday because it's such a spectacular day of football. Couldn't find it, broke it down that way. But here's the breakdown. Last week, CBS won the week in primetime, averaging 11.4 million viewers. NBC had 9 million. ABC had 7.5. Fox 3.4. Univision 2.8. Telemundo had 1.12.
But you didn't find the individual. You just found
the network.
The network.
I have a few programs here, but the point is that the big loser is Fox. Their numbers are down 29% from the same week last year. 29% and 32% among the young people.
And that was the young people. The reason Fox succeeded was because of the young people programming, The Simpsons and 21 Jump Street and shows like that originally.
Yeah. Now, so there were some good programs. Apparently, there's a new show I've not seen. It Mulaney. It's a comedy. Seen that? It's
no.
No, I'm sorry. It did not do well. 2.3 million views. No wonder you'd never heard of it. I haven't either. So the week went to CBS. The usual shows did well, as you expect. NCIS, Big Bang, which I never watched. The new show Scorpion. I tried to watch a part of that.
I've watched every episode. I'm all in.
Are you in on that?
I'm all in.
Okay. And then How to Get Away with Murder, which I have seen a couple of times. And I like that. Okay.
I can't get it. It just looks like it's trying to do a rip-off. It's trying to combine Scandal with CSI, and I just can't get into it.
Well, right now I'm going back to my usual programs. Blacklist obviously was one of ours.
I hadn't watched this week's version of Blacklist yet.
Blacklist. It gets darker and darker. And then, I like Blue Bloods. I'm a Blue Bloods fan.
I love Blue Bloods.
Last week mayor likes Blue Bloods too, probably. And
last week was a great Blue Bloods too.
Yeah, don't tell me. I've got tape.
It was a good Blue Bloods.
Tape. Haven't watched it. I've been
first
busy.
off, it's digitally recorded. It's not taped.
It's taped in my house. Okay.
Oh dear goodness.
So here we go. So I'm going to stand by the usual NCIS stuff. And I found an old show of mine I like it. It's on one of those CW 27 deals.
Here we go.
No, it's a show that I watched years ago, and it's a funny show. Whose Line Is It Anyway? The people who do all the admins.
I know, with Wayne Brady and all. It's such a terrible show.
It's a fun show. I've been watching it for years. You know why? I believe the theory that before you go to bed at night, a good laugh will get you in the right mood. watching. He's turn his mic on and watch
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and have you ever watched it? Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, I've watched it.
It's
I
funny.
didn't really care
It's
for
goofy.
it.
But
I watched the old one.
Well,
from
this
the
is
60s.
Well, no, that's different.
I know, but I don't like the new one.
The new one that Drew Carey hosts and everything.
No, Drew Carey's not on anymore. He's been gone a long time. This is a new.
Well,
person.
you say you're right. You need a good laugh right before you go to bed every night. And I have a good laugh. I have a floor-to-ceiling mirror, and the last thing I do before I get to bed is look in it.
Okay, well, there you go. It's hard to beat
Get a big belly laugh
Hard
and go to
beat
sleep.
that. One other point, real quick, on tidal waves. Just so I want to mention, there's now saying many U.S. coastal communities already struggle with the flooding. They're looking now at 15 years in the future because of that word you hate, global warming. They expect the shorelines to grow more populated, sea levels to go up and swell, and with the melting of the glaciers, and there's going to be more populations at risk. This is all scientific, Tom. It's not political.
I didn't say it was political. I know it's scientific. I agree with you 100%. The globe is warming. I agree with you 100%.
Particularly dire consequences expected along the U.S. East Coast and the Gulf Coast.
But they don't call it global warming anymore. They call it climate change. So that way, anything that happens, they can blame it on climate change. The same scientists that told you 25 years ago that we'll be freezing right now are the same scientists.
All right, time just blew past the break. So. We all right?
Yeah, we got about 44 seconds.
Okay. And you're right. It is. You're right. I'm not going to interrupt you, Mayor. I thought we'd blown past the break.
Well, we kind of did, but in 44 seconds, nobody would know it.
Yeah. So the whole thing, and it's to a point where you can't talk about global warming because it gets too political. But there's no question of what's going on. I know Tom believes this is a cycle that will be whatever. But while I'm living and the shoreline disappears, then that's what I'm concerned about. So that's how I'm going. All right, the mayor's in the house. He's bringing coffee. He's back. He's going to talk about the shield or the seal and a lot more coming up on Coffee with the Mayor right here in the Voice of Ocala.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. The family of the Liberian man who died of Ebola in Dallas speaking out, his partner in a statement
My
saying,
family is in deep sadness and grief, but we leave him in the hands of God.
Fox's Doug McElway, U.S. officials insisting that borders remain open.
The CDC has reiterated many times that banning flights from Ebola-affected West African countries would be counterproductive by limiting aid and medicine to the affected zone, allowing the virus to proliferate.
There are, however, some new measures being put in place at major airports here. Passengers arriving from West Africa will have their temperatures taken. There was a petition with more than 330,000 signatures to save the dog belonging to the Spanish nurse with Ebola, but it did no good. That dog has been euthanized. And Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson, charged with felony child abuse, due back in court December 1st for trial. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Napa supports the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, and this month we're making it easy for you to show your support too. Make any $25 purchase and you'll receive a free Napa Camo racing cap. For every cap we give out, we'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, supporting those who serve you. That's Napa Know-How. at participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All Is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All Is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Time now for Coffee with the Bear, one of my favorite segments. I get free coffee. I hope you get to write this off for some cow. Yeah, I'm getting to be an expensive little item for you.
Expensive habit.
Yeah, I really am. But thank you once again for the coffee, welcome. And good to see you. Too bad you didn't dress up today.
No, I dressed down for you.
I have a tie similar to that's one of my favorite ties to the squares.
Yeah, they say it's a gator tie, but it's just an orange tie with some blue on it. I don't call it a gator tie. But.
Well, right now, it might be tough to find many people willing to wear gator ties
orange and blue. With
what's happening in Gainesville. Boy, that's a mess. You've been out and about, and there's a couple of ongoing controversies in our city that I'm not talking about saggy pants either.
Right, flags.
But flags, whatever. But one of them is a seal, city seal, right?
Oh, yes.
And that's one that, I don't know. I guess some group came and complained about it, about having the words God on it,
yeah.
and it was offended a bunch of people. And you told a little bit of the story last time about how that came about, and how our forefathers put it in the seal, and why.
Yeah.
And I think you want to talk about that today, didn't you?
Yeah, we got Chief Graham and Narvella Haynes did this prayer vigil downtown to. Really to pray for some of the people to come forward that, were witnesses to some of these shootings and have the courage to speak with us. And we got some criticism from a group out of Madison, Wisconsin, the probably capital of liberalism. And they said that, we shouldn't do that. You should reprimand your chief of police and you should cancel the event. And I've shared this story, but it's worth sharing again. I wrote back to him. I said, not only are we not going to cancel it, we're going to try to promote it and get as many people as we possibly can to the event. And not only am I not going to reprimand my police chief, I'm going to praise him for coming up with the idea, he and Narvella, to do it. Which they didn't like that. They thought I was being rude, and I didn't say it. But if you're going to be in that kind of business of trying to intimidate people, you need to get some thicker skin. But so they got over that, and then they sent me another letter, which I brought to council last night, and they said, your language in your city seal, "God be with us," is unconstitutional, and we want you to write us back and tell us what you're going to do to correct that. And so
and by the way, it is very offensive to people in Madison, Wisconsin. That really concerns me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they said they had 22,000 people that belong to their group. And
so they're trying to recruit people for their group.
That belong to mine. Yeah. But so anyway, so they said.
That's
so
just counting the Catholics, by the way, billions.
Exactly. So I wrote them back today, and I said, in regards to your letter, we're not gonna take the language out of the seal. We're not going to take it off the police badge, and that's what we're going to do to correct your perceived problem. We're not going to do anything, and that was unanimous with the council. So anyway, so we did that, but it's a timely issue because where this came from was from Jim Kirk. He was mayor
and councilman
Willard Ayers.
Also a councilman.
I think at the
time.
I
don't know if he's mayor or not.
I don't know if he was mayor or I think he may have been councilman at the time. I'm not sure. But I think Mr. Kirk Jim told me, James Cunningham.
Who was an African American.
Yes.
Who was leading figure on the West Side.
Absolutely. And then there was another person in the black community, and I can't remember who it was. But anyway.
And I think Chief of Police Alvarez might have been involved in that. I'm not sure.
It may have been. No, I think it was two African Americans and Mayor and Willard Ayers. But anyway, so after their meetings, what they would do is they would meet, and if issues came up in the city that were needed to be dealt with before they became a problem. This is during the 60s, some
I know this
times.
story.
Remember?
Yeah. Jim Kirk retold it to me about 6 months ago.
Yeah, and so they would their prayer at the end of the meeting was, God be with us. And so at about that time they were, coming up with a new city seal, and they said, hey, let's put that in our seal. Well, with everything we've got going on right now and some things that are going to come to light here in a couple of months, I mean, I can't think of any better time, to embrace that. God be with us. And so.
Wait a minute. Now, that's an ominous comment you just made there. What do you mean? You got me a little worried. With everything that's coming up in 2 months, and the God be with us is appropriate. We're going to get hit by a cyclone. What's going on here? Sounds rather ominous there, doesn't it, Tom?
It really does.
You're scaring me now.
Well, there's some things they're going to come forward with.
All right, I'm sorry.
I can't really talk about it.
I'm sorry. It's just
You'll know it when
it's the journalist in me. I just can't let that hang out there. I had to ask. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead. I'm
not,
sorry.
I just can't talk about it.
All right.
So anyway, it's the FBI and Department of Justice are involved in it. So I can't say anything.
I respect that.
So anyway, I think it's a timely issue, and I mean, atheists have a right to come down, which they did to that event, and protest and exercise their First Amendment rights, and I have the absolute right to go down there and pray. I mean, we're both, it's like I said in the paper, we're both exercising our First Amendment rights, and so anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to move forward with that.
Having another one of those?
We're not going to change a thing on our seal, and that's that.
And you're going to have another one of those prayer.
Yeah, I think October. I think on the day, Narvella Haynes, I think over at Howard Academy, is having an event. Invite the community to. There'll be things that'll come out about that.
You made a comment there, I think, which is important because there's more than just, obviously this is a good reason to do it, don't get me wrong. But also, you made a remark about encouraging others to come forward.
Right.
Because a lot of people, and this will sound racist, but particularly on the West Side, don't like to come forward and talk to cops. That's just how it is. I mean,
Right.
in fact, a lot of people don't like to talk to cops. But so
I think what you're saying, the African American community in general
are suspicious of cops.
suspicious of the
Yeah.
police and don't like to come forward.
Right.
The snitches need stitches is really believed in that community.
Yeah.
Well,
so
some of them are afraid.
yeah, that's what we're talking about. They're afraid. And so if nothing else, if you encourage one or two people who knew about something with the drive-by shootings, if you got one to come forward or two to give you information, aside from the spiritual part of this, which is the part I think we all are embracing here,
Right.
This is a benefit from that, right?
Right, absolutely. Well, it's kind of like when you're in a meeting and you want to ask a question and you're the only one that raises your hand to ask the question. Everybody else in the room says, "Oh yeah, I had the same question, but I just didn't want to ask it. I'm glad you asked it." You know, so.
All right, so we're keeping the seal as it is.
Keeping the seal as it is.
Right. Now, what happened at council meeting last night? Anything else?
Well, we're going to council meeting. We're going to, and we'll talk about this at the end of the show. Have a special meeting, I think, on the 14th for a workshop regarding the Ocala development on the hotel.
Well, and Albert Peak will be here at 4:00 today to talk. We'll get him
about
talking.
that.
So maybe you ought to hang around a couple of minutes and see Mr. Peak when he gets in.
Yeah, and I will. And we had a meeting today regarding the linear park, and I was going to ask him, his feelings on that. We can touch on that, but excuse me. Council meeting was.
Speaking of Albert Peak, there he goes right there.
There he is, Albert Peak.
And getting back to a point I made earlier, which is about, we think everybody knows about Linear Park.
Right.
Tom, what would you estimate if we put one of our interns we used to have out here and had polled 25, 30 people on Linear Park? How many people do you think would know what it was?
Well, being that I'm a good guy at setting odds because I, had a gambling lifestyle at one time, I would venture to say if you got two people to say they knew what Linear Park was, you had got a good return.
Yeah. So about 10% maybe.
No, I would at
out of
less.
30, but I'd 20 be 20.
Yeah.
I think if you ask 20 people, no, if you ask 30 people, you get two. If you ask 20 people, if you got one, you'd get a good return. About 6%.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
sir, do you know what Linear Park is? Do you know what Linear Park is? See,
well, first of all, he's not going to talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to you. Who want to talk to you anyway?
Well, it's all about understanding the language, too.
Now, if the mayor was out there with a suit and looking good, he could say something. He'd ask about it. But it gets back to what we talk about, this whole thing of communication, connection,
Right.
what have you. And I even found myself talking about it earlier this week and being a little vague on trying to remember some of the details. And I've talked about it on this show 50 times over the last 3 years. So I guess we have to keep telling that story, right?
We do. And let me say one thing, too. I talked about this at council last night in my mayor's report. You read the paper and you see all the activity. Well, you see a lot of the activity with these shootings and things like that. But there's in an article today, there's this thing called the Core Group. And they are, working on finding some of these people that were involved in these shootings. And these men and women are working for the police department, are working so hard. It's just unbelievable what they do on a daily basis that people have no idea that they're doing. But, I'm always proud of my police department, but I'm even prouder of them now. It's just amazing the job that they do. And they just continue to do it day in, day out. We've made so many arrests with these folks that are involved in those shootings for things other than those shootings.
You should come in tomorrow and pin a gold star on the chief for the Ask the Cop show.
Something else that your police don't get credit for. They do their job with the arresting of people and all, but they do so many community activities and stuff on their off time that never gets credit either.
Let's stop that right there because we're past the break, and we just had somebody come in that has a common subject that the mayor wants to talk about a little bit, and we'll take advantage of the fact that we've got Albert Peak here and Mayor Kent Gwynn. There's a subject that we were just discussing. that would regard Mr. Peak, which I think you'd be able to enlighten us with. Albert, you up for a quick comment before your segment starts at 4 o'clock?
Oh, sure. You know we're always up for anything with your show, buddy.
All right. We'll take a break, come back. Mayor Kent Gwynn is here. Coffee with the mayor today, and Albert Peak is, we didn't bring you in coffee, Albert. I'm sorry, but we'll get you some water. Here you go, right here. We're good. All right. After this timeout right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase process a fixed rate alone.
Fumble!
I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast. So I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. Traditional help for truly injured. We trademark registered this belief years ago as our description of our practice at the Briggs Law Firm. By traditional help, we mean that clients actually meet with a partner in the firm who will personally handle their case, not a paralegal. Well, what about truly injured? We limit our practice to injury claims having merit with clients who indeed have been injured. So if you or a loved one have been truly injured, compare our credentials at the Briggs Law Firm. Or call us at 671-4600.
This is Allstate Agent Kevin McDonald, and our agency is a proud sponsor of the Marion County Friday Night High School Football Game of the Week. I grew up in Ocala, and I'm proud to support high school athletics throughout Marion County. For all your insurance and employee benefit needs, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333. Our agency has been a proud member of the Ocala-Marion County community since 1985, with offices in Ocala and the Villages.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, a mix of sun and clouds and very warm this afternoon, high 86 to 90. Tonight will be mainly clear with a low of 64 and a few inland spots, about 71 though along the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny and very warm, high 86 to 90. On Friday, mostly sunny, high again 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
This weather brought to you by A&A Lockdock. Did you know that most break-ins happen during bad weather because it masks the sound? Don't be another victim. Protect your home and business today. Call A&A Lockdock, 352-867-1965. That's 352-867-1965.
Dan, did you know that the runway at Ocala's airport is nearly 8,000 feet long?
Why, no, Brad. I did not. Please, tell me more about said runway.
Seriously, it's a big airport.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. So what's your point?
Well, just that most people don't even realize there's an airport, much less one that's big enough for Air Force One to land.
And
that Ocala Aviation is based at Ocala International Airport.
So why are you telling me?
So that you can help me get the word out that Ocala Aviation has a fleet of airplanes and is here for them to learn to fly.
And how do you propose we get said message across to so many people at once?
We should put an ad on a good radio station, but yours will do.
Very funny. Well, what do you want to say?
That we offer private, instrument, and even commercial training, all right here in Ocala. They don't even have to go anywhere else. They can do it all right here.
Nope, never work.
Well, then give them the number to call with any questions.
I can't even remember your number.
Yes, you do. 861-7484. How hard is that?
Okay, I'll call you next week and we'll get it started.
Can you remember the number this time?
Yes, 861-7484.
Good boy.
WWWWOCA WWWWOCA.
We are The Source, WOCA.
got about 3 minutes here, and we've got Albert Peake, who's going to be on with us at 4 o'clock, so this will carry over. But Mary Gwen, you might want to stay over a little bit, too, and after the top of the hour. But you wanted to ask a question, part of what you asked on the air, about linear park, and let's get that exchange in now so our listener can participate in that.
Well, one of the things Mr. Peake and I were talking about the other day, and I just found out Mr. Peake wasn't at the meeting today. I thought I saw him there. I saw his son and Kirk Boone there, but there are a number of people there. But we were talking about not blowing the horn in back of the train horn in back of the hotel, and
the proposed hotel.
Yeah, we were proposed hotel,
which
is the catalytic project for the downtown that will make all this other things happen. So anyway, we were talking about having a police escort from the boulevard to Broadway, and then from Broadway on to Fort King, so they wouldn't blow the horn and have no sirens, just lights. And I think that would probably get someone's attention more so.
Hotel guests will be able to disturb. We got about a minute to answer that, and at this segment, we can carry it over. But Albert Peake, what are your thoughts about that?
And actually, I'm going to give Kirk Boone the credit on this particular one, because really, if you think about it, a blinking light or a railroad crossing, if somebody was eager to try and go across around the arms, that would happen. But if a patrol car is there with the blinking, with the blue lights, nobody's going to try and go around that. And I think that was a great solution for being able to do that. And I think the complexity is that we have to get that into an agreement between the city of Ocala and the railroad. And I think the city of Ocala, by my conversation with you, Kent, and with city managers, they all thought it was a very good idea. Talked to Greg Graham, and he's very supportive of it. So, I think everybody on the city's end of it, we just need to get an agreement with them, and I think that's one of the stumbling blocks that we just need to get done.
That's a simple solution, wasn't it?
Oh, actually,
like a construction project. You have the cop car out there with lights blinking, right?
Yeah. Sometimes the simplest things are just right in front of you, and you just can't. But I think the railroad's going to work with us on this, and I'm going to go to the charrette this evening. So I'm going to be talking. Pete Petrie is the general manager for the Florida Northern, and we've had some meetings with him, and he can only do certain things within what his organization allows him to do, and of course FDOT and the Federal Railroad System. So I think we can get there. It's just a matter of trying to get this agreement memorialized, put in writing, and let's get it going.
All right. Well, you're going to hang around, and we got State of Real Estate coming up next hour. We want you to update us, and we're going to kind of draw a picture verbally of what's happening for everyone there, and what we talk about the hotel and what side it's on, of course, the east side. And you can walk us through those steps, and then you and the Americans walk us down Linear Park and kind of show us what that's going to look like.
Sure, and there's a lot of other things going on in the real estate market at this point in time.
That I want to hear about. All right, we'll take a break. Coming back, on the other side, we've got a full hour coming up at 4 o'clock. The mayor will be here along with Albert Peake right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1970 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source. Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.The Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Todd D. Lyle. He's a veteran, a leader in cloud computing with a focus on the human element. He's written a book called Grounding the Cloud.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then it's Veterans News. Hank Whittier will be here bringing you Veterans News as he does each and every Thursday.
Dr. Jenny Frings is a transformational speaker and the president and national spokesperson for Concerned Angels. She'll be speaking about her book, Blue-Eyed Ruse, and she'll be speaking about Concerned Angels.
And then Mike Kelly will be on. He's an award-winning journalist. He appeared on Hardball with Chris Matthews, the CBS Evening News, and the Bill Moyers Journal. He's written a book called The Bus on Jaffa Road, a story of Middle East terrorism and the search for justice.
Bruce Fife is a certified nutritionist and a naturopath. He's written a book called The Coconut Miracle Cookbook, over 400 recipes to boost your health with nature's elixir.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA, news, talk, sports, and more. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiaro. 5 U.S. airports with flights from West Africa will begin taking temperatures of passengers to screen for Ebola.
Our efforts to try to stop Ebola, the spread of Ebola in its tracks in West Africa, has a direct relationship to our commitment to protecting the American people here at home.
White House spokesman Josh Earnest, the first person diagnosed in the U.S. with Ebola, died today in Texas. The Pentagon says U.S. and coalition airstrikes have forced some ISIS militants out of a Syrian border town. But Rear Admiral John Kirby says air power alone isn't enough.
ISIL is going to continue to grab ground, and there are going to continue to be villages and towns and cities that they take. We all have to recognize that reality.
Pentagon officials not planning to ask for ground forces. And the Dow up about 200 points today on news the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates at current levels. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Napa supports the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. And this month, we're making it easy for you to show your support too. Make any $25 purchase and you'll receive a free Napa Camo Racing Cap. For every cap we give out, we'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, supporting those who serve you. That's Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
That sets hour to the program. This is a state of real estate. We've coerced the mayor, asked him to stay over for a couple of minutes because the two guests we had coming up here have a lot to talk about that concerns the mayor's city. So we thought we'd have a little roundtable. Albert Peake was with us a little bit in the last segment, and now he's joined by Bryce Peake, his son. Good to see you guys together again. Bryce, good to see you. I want to jump on that mic right there, one of those mics, and let's see. Yeah, there you go. And I just want to catch up with you real quick because I haven't seen you in a while, and your DBA stuff, your president's behind you now, and you're moving on to bigger and better things. Ocala development, you're making millions for your father a day, right?
Yeah, that's the direction we're headed, hopefully.
There you go.
Still involved with the DBA. Ted Schatt has taken over as president of the DBA. He's doing a great job, and we're pushing forward on all of our goals and objectives downtown. You can probably see some of the wayfinding projects coming in with, signalizing where some of the parking lots are. And feeldowntownocala.com is up. That's our new main marketing platform. So it's nice to see some of the things we've been working on in the last couple of years really
come to fruition, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. It's good. Well, the DBA, can you help us out with a hotel? We're trying to get a hotel downtown.
Well, we're we've been working for a long time. We're 2 years in with Ocala Development, looking to try and bring a hotel downtown, and we've been working with the city and on the linear park as well, and we're probably within the next 30 days we'll come together with City Council to vote to get into the next phase of our agreement, and we're excited to see where that comes.
And we're going to talk about, we talked about that some last hour. We're going to talk about it more. But first, while the mayor is here for a minute, he has some questions. I would like to take just a couple of minutes for those people who might not know about what's happening downtown. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people who don't. Every day you talk to people who think, well, what is Linear Park? Maybe three of you could kind of walk us through on a tour of what Linear Park is going to look like, just briefly, and be as descriptive for our radio audience as you can in terms of, what it is. It's
also
not real.
known now as Linear Trail.
Yeah, Linear Trail.
I like that. You mentioned that. I like it. I like Linear Trail better because it's really not a park. It's a trail.
It's actually mentioned in the 2004 downtown master plan as the Osceola Greenway.
Okay.
And the whole idea behind this is to really connect the south side of downtown with the north side of downtown, that we sort of have this natural barrier of State Road 40. And we're trying to give a quote-unquote multimodal trail that gives pedestrians, bicyclists, the opportunity to cross State Road 40 in a park-like environment and connect those two separate
sections of downtown.
That's because the mayor went to FSU and he wants that word Osceola in there. He probably named that. Albert doesn't want anything to do with that.
It's really great to look at some of the history of the downtown. And David Cook, I love his articles every time on Sunday because he is such a great resource, and be able to go back and look and see what the impacts, the old Ocala Hotel, which is on the site, which we are aspiring to have this hotel. Heck, when I was a kid, we used to go by there. I think they demolished it in 1967, but it's sort of like you go full circle. It was a thriving hotel, in the early 1900s, and now we have a chance to be able to recreate that kind of
Comes full
environment.
circle, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I believe I read an article about that someplace. Oh, wait a minute. Bryce wrote that in Downtown Magazine about that very same thing, and how neat it is that your grandfather was involved in that some way and signed one of the documents in that hotel and whatever. Dr. Peak Sr.
Yeah, Dr. Peak Sr. He was mayor a couple of times, and
he's
real
quite
active.
a man. I knew Dr. Peak Sr. Yeah, he was quite a man. And so, all right, so in the limited time we have the mayor here, give me, first of all, Kent, are you satisfied with what you heard in the meeting last night? And you and Albert talked about what's next, and you think we're making progress from your standpoint? And let's get the Peak's input on it too, in terms of where we are now, moving forward with the railroad track, linear trail, whatever we're going. Are you satisfied with what we're doing so far?
Yeah, I am. I mean, there's still some kinks to work out in the linear trail, but I think we're having a special meeting on, was it the 14th?
I think they're trying to do it on the 13th. I'm not sure if all the documents are going to be ready, but
that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah.
And so they're going to bring their presentation, and I think it's a meeting, where we can actually, if we don't vote, we can say, yes, we like this. Let's go ahead and move forward and do this. But let me say this. I mean, and I told some of the folks at the meeting downtown today, was this project that they're doing, it is the catalytic project for the downtown master plan. It's the one that's going to cause everything else to happen. It's the most important project in our downtown master plan. So I was telling them, I said, my focus, your focus should be on making sure that works. All this other stuff, linear trail and everything, Gaslight District, they're all great, but we need to focus on what they're doing and make sure that works. All this other stuff will just happen.
If you talk to, and we've gone to Greg Lyons, who's in the CEP up in Gainesville, and we've asked them what the downtown hotel has done for their downtown community.
Hampton Inn, isn't it?
Yeah, the Hampton Inn, and I think it's about 125 rooms, and it's right off the square, right next to the courthouse. There's an entrance. Yeah, Harry's is right across the street from it. I mean, the similarities are so close to Ocala. He said that was, again, the catalytic element that moves things along, and they're doing Depot Avenue. They've getting ready to move Bo Diddley Park, and they're going to put some retail right across from this hotel. They're talking about $30 a square foot for the retail space. All of the activity that is spurred by having the draw into that downtown area of 100 rooms, and people are in there. We were up there on Friday of last week and just wanted to have a feel. I took Marilyn up there, and I mean, there's so much activity in and around the hotel. People are just hanging out in there, and their lobby is so very, very small. But people are hanging out in there. They're going to the restaurants around in the area. The courthouse, everybody wants to stay there because they want to make sure that they're close proximity. But that pedestrian traffic, the dollars that are being spent, Bryce, what was the average dollars of somebody staying?
Kerr and Downs research has been looking in Marion County to see what the impact of hospitality is in Marion County, and they found out that the average visitor through their first quarter data spends about $289 a day, or about $500, $600 a trip overnight. So if we've talked about making downtown a regional destination, and if it really is going to be a regional destination, we got to have accommodations. And the people that are laying their heads down on those pillows at night, they wake up in the morning and they're spending their money on food, on gas, and entertainment, and we hope that we can bring some of that impact into the downtown corridor.
Like it used to be in 1890 when Ocala was a hub for business. I always like to talk about the Opera House.
Oh, yes.
About the fact we had doctors from Europe and dentists from Europe here. It was a cosmopolitan little town. If you read the books, the history books. And it's amazing. We're kind of going back in that same cycle now.
It can happen again.
Yeah,
that downtown can be a lively. If you go downtown, I mean, it's fun to go down there on a weekend. I mean, you're walking around, you run into people, and they may be at Harry's, they may be at Mark's, they may be at one of the other little libation establishments. They may be going to the movie theater. You just run into people, and people go, well, "Hey, let's go downtown and see what's going on." It may be a concert.
Well, and they were talking about at IHMC. One of the scientists was talking about how nice would that be to have a conference room in that hotel and invite people for the IHMC conference and have conferences there. So we would be world renowned.
Yeah, I mean,
they are now, but they even would be more.
There's plenty of opportunities to have that type of space there, not only for IHMC, but you have the courthouse there, you have hospital down the street, local government right across the street. So there's so many uses that are in the downtown that would be a driver for this hotel. And this hotel, unlike many other redevelopment projects that have been proposed before, is a true driver for the businesses downtown as opposed to being another competitor. It's bringing people downtown to spend money in those establishments.
Well, it's getting kind of exciting. As a matter of fact, I'm beginning to feel downtown. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, thank you very much, Mayor, for hanging over. And
Thanks for
we're
letting me
going
share
to
with
appreciate you coming. We're going to take a break. And the Peaks will be here next segment or two. We're going to talk about other real estate developments, what's going on in the world of real estate. It is called the state of real estate. And Ocala Development, last time I looked, was involved in real estate. Yeah. So let's get the latest from you and what's happening in the community. And we'll talk about that next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Being the Culligan man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate alone.
Fumble! I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
The Marion County Seminole Club, Inc., a proud sponsor of FSU football here on The Source. For more information, contact the Marion County Seminole Club at marionseminoles.org or email them at marionseminoleclub@gmail.com.
Hello, everybody. This is Terry Bradshaw reminding you to listen to Buddy Martin's Sports Page weekdays at 5 p.m. right here on The Source.
WOCA.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Honey.
In here.
Are you tearing up the bathroom? I thought we agreed to let Mike Scott Plumbing handle this on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but I got this. I watched a how-to video on YouTube.
Oh, well. So instead of calling the professionals at Mike Scott Plumbing, who, by the way, do this for a living, and wait, is that a jackhammer?
Yep, watch this. Let the master show you how it's done. Okay, we may have an ever so slight leaking problem.
Great job, Mr. Genius. Now you broke the water line.
No, that was like that when I got here.
Well, looks like the only thing you've mastered is the art of making a mess. So now I'm picking up the phone and calling Mike Scott Plumbing, who won't charge us extra for nights, weekends, or holidays.
No, wait, I can fix this. Just hand me that.
The only thing I'm handing you is the phone. No, wait, I'll handle this. 237-2888.
On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
The fire department.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
On the state of real estate. Now it's time to talk about Albert Pete just filled me up with so much stuff, Tom, I didn't know about. And I'm not 100% on everything, but I kind of keep up. But I just get my head spinning from what Albert was telling me about.
I'm just so enamored that Bryce Peak is in the room that I got Bryce Peak in the room, who I think is the guy of the next 40, 50 years is going to run this city. So I'm just so enamored with him. I don't even know what Albert said.
It's starting to sound like a man crush. It's not.
It's a huge bromance.
I get the great ideas from these two.
It's a bromance I have with Bryce.
No, that's news to Bryce. You ought to give him a little say in that, by the way. Albert, you just laid a couple of things on me that I don't think a lot of people know what's going on in real estate around this community.
Well, there's a lot of positives that are going on, and of course, I'm one of those guys. The cup's always half full, and I think you have to approach life in that direction because you can create a lot of negative things around you if you just want to try and move that way. But real estate is moving well, and you see some prices that are going up. And I think I mentioned to you about Bell Chase, where Armstrong and Chris and those guys ended up buying about 100 lots in there. And
upscale community near Country Club of Ocala, not too far.
Going down on 475. And I think it's just a great indicator that the values are such and the appraisals are such that it's becoming to where you can build homes and still be able to make a profit and be able to move ahead with those commercially. One of the properties on Silver Springs Boulevard, I always say right next to Wolfie's, because everybody knows where Wolfie's rested. John, y'all do a great job there at Wolfie's. That's unsolicited commercial for you guys. Exactly. But that property is just recently turned over.
And the old Barn Hills?
Yeah, the old Barn Hills. And so that is turning over. Had some conversations with Bartow McDonald about some leasing of some industrial properties and sales that are going on. And, there's a great pulse that's going out there. The things that are going on at the FedEx, we haven't seen this on the ground yet, but the implications behind that construction there as a ground transportation hub in the northwest part of the city is just incredible. It really is.
I live in that part of the city, and the vast majority of Ocala may not have seen anything so far on the ground that benefits them on a whole, commercial-wise.
Right.
But just the way they fixed and redone the road around there. Mm-hmm. it makes it amazingly more easy to get to and from that side of town. If you take 27th Avenue, I mean, it's amazing what they've done just with the road work there. And they're painting the lines now, so it's about to be open both ways, 4 lanes in each direction, and it's going to be amazing.
Tom, the impact that you're going to see, and this is going to be over the next 5 years and longer than that, is the employment opportunities that are going to happen in the city of Ocala, not only from the FedEx facility, but the ancillary uses that service an industry such as FedEx coming into that area. It's going to be tremendous for the city of Ocala, and kudos to the city and the county and the participation that they had to get this thing on the ground, because that's an investment that you make, not too dissimilar to where doing investment. It's a public-private investment that we're doing in the downtown to be able to get to the hotel, because you need to have that parking garage. You need to have those infrastructure needs that are there in order to get that hotel there. The same thing needed to happen with FedEx. You have to spend money to make money at times, and I think that FedEx is just a perfect example of where the rewards are going to far exceed the investment that was made.
See, it is possible for the county and city to work together after all, see.
Unless baseball's involved, but don't get me started.
You mentioned just kind of like a passing the boulevard, as we call it here, us local people.
Right.
You know, and it's that whole boulevard sector, and I grew up on that boulevard, a couple houses right there on 14th Avenue. And it's gotten a little seedy at times, over the past few years. And I'm hoping we're starting to see some rebirth there along the boulevard. I know it'll never be like it used to be, but more businesses like the Barnhill building, which is going to be perhaps something, we don't know what for sure it's going to be, but it could be a store of some kind, or a retail store or whatever. And we need more people to have reasons to stop and go there. Because the boulevard it needs to come alive again, doesn't it?
Well, you don't want it to be where it's just a arterial road that goes from point A to point B. You want people to stop, and you give a reason. And I don't think it's the story that I hear, it's a Dollar General. They'll be coming out of a strip center and have their own freestanding.
It's moving out of the Staples Center into the Barnhills.
Right. So, they have all the parking they could possibly need there. That'll be great for sort of like a mini destination, for these smaller commercial uses there, right, to draw the people in there. I think that'll be healthy for the people that are around there, and we'd like to see more conversions of uses. The Sam's going in across the street from the existing Walmart out in Silver Springs will be another draw that's there, and we're seeing trends where that co-location has been very, very successful, and you tend to wonder why would they look at a Sam's almost directly across the street? Well, why does CVS or Walgreens always go across the street from each other? Their proximity actually sort of builds and draws people in there, and you actually get more people there.
At the risk of sounding like a tree hugger, there's some people who have voiced concern about that property for Sam's, saying if we're going to build ecotourism, this I understand is behind Bob Evans back in there. Is it 14 acres or something?
It's a larger piece than that.
Yeah.
But if you go back and look at that area back there and drive around, it's a depressed area.
Isn't it?
And it needs a revitalization. Somebody had talked to us about going back there and this was from tax details. You had a lot of opportunities because a lot of those were going for back taxes.
Oh, really?
Well, that gives you an indication of the viability of that area.
So you think that's a good thing for all concerned, including the ecotourism possibilities?
Well, I don't know whether that particular one is an ecotourism use, but it's off of Silver Springs Boulevard. It's adjacent to the shopping center, which is already there.
Six Gun Plaza.
Six Gun Plaza. I think if you go east of that, I think that whole idea of taking Silver Springs and making it an ecotourism destination, and we saw some things in the newspaper. I think it's a great idea. You have to, and of course the paper, and I forget who the author was on this. I said, give them an opportunity to swim in the water. When I was in high school, that's where we worked out.
Of course, I grew up there.
Yeah.
That was our swimming pool.
Absolutely. Provided where you can go out there and have a use that's there. I mean, the park there, the water park is absolutely, wild water is a fantastic thing to do.
Yeah.
Allow people to get in the water. And
you have blue lips like everybody else out there. If you swim all day long, your lips turn blue, and the water's 72 degrees, but you think it's 50. but many a time. Yeah, that was a wonderful growing up. It was Brad Rogers who wrote that.
Okay. Congratulations, Brad, because you're case on point, brother.
Yeah, and I'm with him on that too. And now, Bryce, has that ever crossed your mind, the chance to go swimming in your generation in the springs, or how do you come across?
No, I've definitely thought about that. Our family is really big into scuba diving, and we've always, I think about the possibilities. People don't really realize just how special North Central Florida is with its springs and cave formations, cavern formations. I mean, you have the opportunity to really cast a net worldwide to
cave
capture.
Diving?
Yeah.
Well, what do you call that? Spelunking or something? What is that? When you go through the
Spelunking is caving, but diving caves is just
a little
diving. It's a little of both.
But you can have cave diving and spring diving. Cave diving, as you go way back in, you ought to be trained very, very well to be able to do that. Spring diving, shoot, we'd go down to Fannin Springs and we'd get to the point where there's a sign that said warning, about going in this area, and I'd look in. Bryce would go in. I wouldn't go. I've seen everything I need. I like seeing the daylight up above me.
It occurred to me, and we're going to take a break here in just a second, is that you two could give other people who haven't been as long a little bit of a tour of some of the great places in the county that you like to frequent. Like, I grew up in fishing some of these places, and Lake Panasoffkee, and of course Lake George, and what have you. But what are some of the things that you Bryce will tell your children someday about what you did here? We'll take a break and come back and visit that, because I want to get your take on what you think it is. And of course, you're fourth generation or fifth generation, so your family's been doing this a long time in Marion County. But the beautiful natural resources that we have in this county, and you two have experienced a lot of those things, as have I, by the way. So, and it's a special place and a special opportunity to do that.
Absolutely.
And we'll get back on the real estate market. Tell us a little bit about the trends, how things are going. If the building is up, we seem to be getting some good reports from people. Banks seem to be getting involved a little bit more, whatever, which is all good. It's what we need. Coming up next, more of the peaks right here on the State of Real Estate on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is the place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source. Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiaro. 5 U.S. airports with flights from West Africa will begin taking temperatures of passengers to screen for Ebola.
Our efforts to try to stop
Ebola, the spread of Ebola in its tracks in West Africa, has a direct relationship to our commitment to protecting the American people here at home.
White House spokesman Josh Earnest, the first person diagnosed in the U.S. with Ebola, died today in Texas. The Pentagon says U.S. and coalition airstrikes have forced some ISIS militants out of a Syrian border town. But Rear Admiral John Kirby says air power alone isn't enough.
ISIL is going to continue to grab ground, and there are going to continue to be villages and towns and cities that they take. We all have to recognize that reality.
Pentagon officials not planning to ask for ground forces. And the Dow up about 200 points today on news the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates at current levels. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Napa supports the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. And this month, we're making it easy for you to show your support too. Make any $25 purchase and you'll receive a free Napa Camo Racing Cap. For every cap we give out, we'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, supporting those who serve you. That's Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Todd D. Lyle. He's a veteran, a leader in cloud computing with a focus on the human element. He's written a book called Grounding the Cloud.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then it's Veterans News. Hank Whittier will be here bringing you Veterans News as he does each and every Thursday.
Dr. Jenny Franks is a transformational speaker and the president and national spokesperson for Concerned Angels. She'll be speaking about her book, Blue-Eyed Ruse, and she'll be speaking about Concerned Angels.
And then Mike Kelly will be on. He's an award-winning journalist. He appeared on Hardball with Chris Matthews, the CBS Evening News, and the Bill Moyers Journal. He's written a book called The Bus on Jaffa Road, a story of Middle East terrorism and the search for justice.
Bruce Fife is a certified nutritionist and a naturopath. He's written a book called The Coconut Miracle Cookbook, over 400 recipes to boost your health with nature's elixir.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
With Albert and Bryce Peak, father-son combo 1-2 punch of Ocala Development. And just tell us what Ocala Development is. I know you've been doing a bunch of stuff for years. You were heavily involved in Country Club Ocala, right?
Right. We were the general partner with that. Duke West, Fred Wallet, and those guys over there.
That was quite a project.
Hey, that was a labor of love. That really was. That was one of my very favorite ones. And Duke West, he was the original person who put that idea together, because he tried to put the Country Club of Ocala in a couple of different places, and just the synergy wasn't right. There were things that didn't happen, and I remember he called me driving from North Carolina home, and his last one had hadn't worked out, and he asked me, what would you think about the Country Club of Ocala in the middle of this 410-acre tract that we had? And the next day I said, let's do it. We did things on a handshake, and his favorite saying was, press on. He was the kind of partner that you didn't have to encourage. You had to pull back on the reins a little bit. I said, there's actually some rules and regulations. But we literally started that whole transaction on a handshake.
Butch Futch is probably out there the next day moving dirt.
Oh, yeah. Butch, God, I love him to death. Everybody, Steve Nugent, the contractors involved, the design. John Adams laid out the first area of that. But your question about Ocala development, Kirk Boone is somebody, his dad, Gene Boone, has had Foxfire Realty here forever and ever. And Kirk and I have worked on a number of things. And we started Ocala Development. The name was a little bit different than the Peak Properties and what I'd done previously. And he has been just the consummate partner in things that we've been able to do. He was in real estate appraising for years and years. So that's the genesis of the name of Ocala Development.
And now you got a young guy coming along who's pushing you old guys just a little bit here. And
well, I get the feeling every now and then that I'm being pushed out the door, and I said, well, it doesn't actually hurt my feelings either.
It's not being pushed out the door; it's just a shot in the arm.
There you go. There you go.
But it is as you all know, being a father, have somebody who in your family, a son that can come in and work in your office. And Bryce has a degree in real estate finance and urban planning, and he has all the knowledge, and being able to come in and see his success in the Downtown Business Alliance and working hand in hand with the city and the county, particularly in all the things with the city for this project that we're trying to do, get that catalytic hotel down there. We all get pretty proud about that, and I'm very happy to have him involved in the things we do.
Well, the opportunity and excitement goes two ways. When I first moved away from Ocala, I didn't think I'd find myself back home, but the way the puzzle pieces fell, once I got back here, the opportunities to be here and work with my dad and learn as much as I can from his experience and his successes, and work with with guys like Kirk and Sandy, and there's no place like home, and to be able to come back home and have the opportunity to really make an impact is one that I'm trying to take advantage of.
And the fortuitous timing. I know there's a piece of this story we've talked about before on the air, which I think is so beautiful, of how this whole thing came about. If you don't believe in a higher power or whatever, you would after this, because the opportunity, as we talked about it, Bryce and Albert, we talked about it, when your father got ill, and thank goodness he's doing so great now and looks great, you found yourself in Orlando sort of trying to decide what you wanted to do. And you came home ostensibly to be with your dad, didn't you?
Yeah, I was down in Orlando. I had started an internet marketing company, and my business partner took a position with a larger company, and I was trying to figure out where I was going to be going next. And I ended up being back in Ocala and thinking that I'd be moving to another, major metropolitan area, trying to get a position with another internet marketing company. And we've found out about the challenge that we faced as a family, and thank the good Lord above that's in the rear view. But it was definitely by the grace of God that I had come home to be able to support my family and spend time and do what I could in the office to where my dad could focus on his fight and his recovery, and it all worked out. So
after he got better, he was a hostile takeover. That's all I was doing, right? That's a great story. I love that piece. I didn't mean to tell your story. I just think it's such a great story.
Well, it's pretty special on our end, because I think we had talked about the people up at Shands Cancer Facility up there just doing an amazing job, and to have the confidence that somebody has your back when you left things just on the table was incredible. And we sort of concentrate. Like I say, it's the only reason I'm still here is the power of prayers and the number of people in this community that prayed for me.
A lot of them too, by the way.
Amen.
A lot of them. Let's get to the part about where we mentioned about the great resources of Marion County. We talk about them a lot, but not many people have sampled them as much as the Peaks have. Yeah. And the Martins a little bit too, but you guys particularly, with your being outdoor enthusiasts, if you were going to do a father-son thing and next week or something, and what would be one of the two of the spots that the two of you would go to take part in, in some whatever activity it was?
Well, one that's coming up is Father-Son Bonita Club over in Yankeetown.
Yeah. That's kind of a special place.
It really is. I hadn't had a chance to go over there as many times as I wanted to, but that is a special part of Central Florida, North Central Florida, when you go to Yankeetown, it's the beach, Daytona Beach and all that, all it's beautiful, St. Augustine, it's a wonderful environment. When you go to the west coast of Florida, it's sort of like the book A Land Remembered. You just walk back.
Rustic, very rustic.
Yeah,
Old Florida at its finest.
Yeah,
Is,
been there and spent the night one time. Yeah, that's neat.
yeah, little cabins that are there. I mean, that's just an opportunity. When we were growing up, heck, the Silver River, as we talked about earlier, we used to go swimming there, but you could, bring your boats all the way up. There wasn't an idle zone. I think we actually skied up and down that river.
I've heard about that now.
We were always on the water when we were growing up. The Ocala National Forest provided a lot of hunting opportunities with my dad and a number of his friends, which was always a fun activity. You and I just spoke about Fig Lake over to the east side of Lake Weir. I call him Papa Collins, Elliot Collins, Collins family.
Late Andy Collins used to have a little few parties out there.
Yeah.
We were teenagers.
Part of that is a little bit of hunting, but their fishing there was unbelievable. And that family, well, it laid the groundwork for a lot of things in Ocala. The airport, where now Target is, that was the airport on their land out there, of the Ocala manufacturing.
And Jim Taylor, of course, is the grandfather who owned about 60% of Marion County at one time. Of all those stories and things, Bryce, what would be some of your fondest memories?
Well, it would definitely be tough to not head out into the Ocala National Forest. Growing up, having a lake place out at Lake Kerr, just waking up out there, and it's almost like stepping back in time in some ways. Some of the secret places that I think of, Rodman's Reservoir, getting out there on a boat, and the fishing there can be incredible. And there's 3 just distinct zones, habitats that you go through there. If people haven't gone out there and checked it out, you got to. And then I also think about, tubing down the Rainbow River in high school and college, getting a group of friends together and just going to the KP hole, putting in and drifting for just 3 hours in some ice cold water. So that's a couple of the things that immediately jump forward in my mind.
And Albert, people think Itchitucky is great, and it is, but it's no Blue Run.
Oh yeah, Blue Run
is
is
one of the most
really,
beautiful
really
rivers
special
in the world. Mm-hmm. A lot more development there than there was when I grew up, but I used to love going down that river, and how could you not? So.
And you hadn't even touched on one of my favorite places in the north end of the county. Back in the day, and because it's lost some of its luster water-wise.
The lime pit you're talking about?
No, Orange Lake. Orange Lake.
Yeah.
I mean, Orange Lake's a fabulous place. I remember when we'd come down here on vacation, and we'd go over, and my dad found this great hole in the wall, the back porch, that Mama didn't know where it was. So we'd leave Mama at the hotel over at the Holiday Inn on 40, and my dad would say, honey, me and the boy going fishing. That really was code for we were going to the back porch so Dad could drink beer and watch football, and I could eat pickled eggs.
There you go. One of the places that is just so iconic in my mind within Marion County, too, is the northwest section when you get on 27 and 225, 225A.
Those horse
you
farms
just head north out there, and you get these beautiful horse farms with beautiful rolling hills and pasture. And when I have the opportunity to go look at property out there, I realize how lucky I have.
Yeah, and speaking of the north area, the Cross Creek area and the 2 lakes there, when Loch Lusa and Orange Lake there together, which is a neat place to go. Marjorie Kennedy Rawls is one of my favorite places of all time.
The Yearling. Yeah.
Well, we reminisce now. We still got to touch upon some things that might be happening in our community, and we've got about a minute to go here in this segment. What's the one thing you'd like to see us push besides Linear Park or Linear Trail, which I like a lot better? It's more friendly.
Right.
What is the one thing you'd like to see done in our community next?
Are you talking about in the downtown area?
Anything. The Symphony Hall, the auditorium is a wonderful project. For one thing, that's going to be great. In terms of, the old auditorium being converted into, and the private funds being raised, that's awesome. But that would be one of mine. What's right now, something you want to get done besides what you're working on with the hotel?
Well, we're so involved with the hotel, but if you think about it, and you bring up a really good point about Symphony Hall, is it's pulling all of that together, and that's what Matt Brower has been really great about his vision on what he was trying to do. When I say Matt's the city manager.
But he's been a driving force.
Yeah, he's been a driving force.
And doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think council has also been the support of, we want to pull this all together. So all of the components there, as opposed to taking your attention and, let's say I want the Gaslight District, which is going to be on the north side, and try and spend my money there. I think trying to pull all of this area together, we were talking about the railroad in an early segment with Kent, we need to have this quiet zone where we don't have that train whistle going, and that same thing is applicable to the symphony. They can't be having their symphony, and as it goes by there, and have that horn going off. So we have to have that zone in there that'll protect us, and that's but it's bringing the symphony, it's bringing that park, it's bringing citizens together.
Gotcha.
It's the hotel, all of that. When you link this together, I think it just provides the next opportunity for like Gaslight District and the things going to the North Magnolia areas.
A great point. We're gonna have to take a break now.
Yep.
You guys a game for a little game against Tom
No,
Schmitz?
they're not.
Fake and factoid. Where
Look, they're good developers. They can't play these kind of games.
Yeah, well, your record's not too good lately, by the way. I read a series of comments. You say fake or factoid. You going to take Tom on and do this?
Well, I stepped in accidentally the last time I was on here and realized how much I don't know.
you and Bryce can play as a team. How about that? All right. It's the Peaks against Tom coming up next on Fake or Factoid right here in the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan. I practiced law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Yo, Goomba, they're doing this comedy about me at the Ocala Civic Theater called Breaking Legs. Yeah, I know, great title. My daughter brings this playwright to a restaurant, want me and the boys to invest in his new play. There's no business like show business, unless, of course, it's the family business. So, I was saying, come see our play, Breaking Legs. Call Ocala Civic Theater at 236-2274 or check it out online at OcalaCivicTheater.com. So what are you waiting for? This is an offer you can't refuse.
On the Voice of Ocala. Real quick, we left out a point that Albert wanted to touch upon about a friend of ours who's supposed to be on this program in 2 weeks. I don't know if he will or not, but Sandy McBride's got some stuff going on, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. And you and I were both talking about, he may be on here to sort of give some input on what he's been doing. But what I wanted to point out and what you and I were talking about is he's broken ground on the old Sprint building with 20 condominiums. I think the number is 20. It was somewhere between 15 and 20, but I think that's the number. And he's making a major investment. The city joined with him. And again, his project is a public-private partnership. There's some concessions that the city gave to be able to get this place on it because you had this building that's sitting there that really somebody would have torn down.
That's a great project.
I think so too.
It's equally as important in its own way as to what you're doing. I hear the music, and we're going to go play Faker Factoid. Okay,
there we go.
You guys ready to go? You guys playing as a team? We got
Absolutely.
Number one, Faker Factoid. The first metered taxi was introduced in 1907. Faker Factoid.
Fake.
That's going to be a fake.
Fake.
All of you are wrong. It's correct. It's fact. Wow.
I thought it was much earlier.
Me too.
I thought it was a horse-drawn thing or something much earlier.
Number two, before 1859, baseball umpires sat in a padded rocking chair behind the catcher. Fake or factoid?
Fake.
Fake.
They stood behind.
All fake?
They stood behind the pitcher.
Anybody want to?
No, fake.
Nope, they stood behind the pitcher.
You're incorrect. It's fact. Number three, Vermont.
You're not allowed to argue. You're not allowed to argue.
No, you can't, because I know you know everything, Tom.
You're not allowed to argue.
Yeah, right.
Buddy's right.
And I deduct points for arguing.
Right.
Okay.
Buddy's right.
Number three, Vermont is the only state that borders on one state. Fake or factoid?
Fake.
Another fake.
Fake.
Everybody says fake? You got one right.
Yeah, because Maine's the only one that borders on one state.
All right, here we go. No species of wild plant produces a flower or blossom that's absolutely black, and so far, none have been developed artificially. Fake or factoid?
I'm going to say factoid.
Yeah, I'm going to say fact.
Albert?
I'll go fact on that.
You're all correct. You're still hanging in there.
There we go.
And finally, roses were originally brown until they were genetically modified many, many years ago. Fake or factoid?
Fake.
Fact.
I want to say fake, but if it sounds fake, I'm going to stick with it and say fake.
Say fake?
Yep.
It is fake. Tom is out.
I lose.
And Albert, what did you say?
I said fake.
So, okay, you guys are
I
still
was
in
the
it
first
now.
guy out there.
All right, here you go. What percent of all fish species inhabit fresh water? The number. What percent of fish species inhabit fresh water in the world?
Can I take a guess?
You can participate.
2%.
2%, he says. Okay.
I'm going to say 10.
Say 10%.
I'm going to say 5%.
5%. How about 40%?
Wow.
Really? Wow.
40%.
Thought there were much more in the ocean.
Yeah, right?
Surprise.
I thought the oceans were pretty big.
A lot more
See,
biodiverse.
this is what you learn on Fake or Factoid.
What did we learn today? We learned that Buddy was wrong about the rocking chair. That's what we learned.
And, of course, Tom has always got the correct answer, no matter what it is. He's always right. So, anyway, so that's it. Well, thank you.
Are we old enough to be able to go see those rocking chairs that they sat in?
I have no idea.
You couldn't go. I was around there. That's why I know.
I think you and I.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, buddy.
Stay tuned for Buddy Sports Page next right here in the Voice of Ocala. The program called
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, live and local, The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate alone. Fumble!
I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you can score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. Traditional help for truly injured. We trademark registered this belief years ago as our description of our practice at the Briggs Law Firm. By traditional help, we mean that clients actually meet with a partner in the firm who will personally handle their case, not a paralegal. Well, what about truly injured? We limit our practice to injury claims having merit with clients who indeed have been injured. So if you or a loved one have been truly injured, compare our credentials at thebriggslawfirm.com or call us at 671-4600.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs. Proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source. Hi, I'm Buddy Martin, the host of The Voice of Ocala, every weekday from 3 to 6 right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. A lot of people ask me, how do you keep a muzzle on Tom Schmitz? Forget about it.
WOCA. Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
It's the end of the fiscal year, and that means budget cuts and number crunching. Now's the time of the year you're evaluating your expenses, planning your budget, and finding ways to save money and increase efficiency to maximize profits. Dex Imaging understands and delivers. Call Dex Imaging today for a free document management evaluation. Cutting your office expenses is as easy as calling Dex Imaging. 352-266-0333. Start saving money today and increase your bottom line with Dex Imaging. Printers, copiers, and fax machines that increase office productivity and save you money. No one understands your bottom line better. Call Dex Imaging today, 352-266-0333, or check them out on the web at deximaging.com. That's DEXimaging.com. Or call 352-266-0333 for your free document management evaluation today.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiro. The first patient to be diagnosed with Ebola in the U.S. died this morning. Thomas Duncan's girlfriend is quarantined with her children. George Mason is her pastor.
It was a painful and difficult time for her. She reacted as almost anyone would, with great shock and despair.
U.S. officials will begin taking the temperatures of travelers from West Africa arriving at 5 U.S. airports starting Saturday. The Dow up 275 points on where the Fed will keep current interest rates in place.
The release of the minutes from the Fed's September meeting shows the members of its decision-making committee are divided over when the Fed should end its historically low interest rate policy.
Fox Business Network's Rich Edson. And the Pentagon says it has no plans to ask for ground forces in the fight against ISIS inside Syria. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Napa supports the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. And this month, we're making it easy for you to show your support too. Make any $25 purchase and you'll receive a free Napa Camo Racing Cap. For every cap we give out, we'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. Supporting those who serve you. That's Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Hello, welcome to Buddy's Sports Page on a Wednesday. We have a busy hour coming up.
Hump day.
There you go. Well, Tom has the headlines in a moment. We'll be talking to Terry Bradshaw at 5:30 if all works well in the land of communications. Terry does his weekly segment here every Wednesday at 5:30, and we repeat it Thursday night on our program called Southern Sports Tonight, which goes into this market and to other markets in Georgia and South Carolina. So Terry will be joining us today. He wasn't feeling too good. He's had an issue with he's got bad arthritis all over his body, and he has to take an injection to it's something like Phil Mickelson did when he came down with it. And he was in Oklahoma, and I spoke to him last night, and he was really upset because the shipment of his medication had not arrived. And he's gone through a lot of red tape with a certain pharmacy, which was posted on Facebook last night.
We won't say what the pharmacy is, but
starts with a C. But
just tell you that it's known by the letters in his name.
Yeah, and it sounds like a network, but it's not. Anyway,
right. It's not CBS.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was and he said he's just racked with pain when he can't get this. And the story, we've all gone through frustrations with dealing with people and customer service. And I know there's some nice people, and they try hard, but sometimes you might be talking to the wall. As Clark Howard calls it, customer no service. Right. And one of the things that I have, for instance, I have a hard time with my cell phone company. I just don't communicate well with them. It's probably, no doubt me. I have to hand the phone to my wife and say, could you tell them, honey, what I'm trying to say? And they say, well, does she have
Is
okay
she
to be authorized to
talk
speak
on
for
it?
you?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's why I'm telling you. Well, I have to. He has to be officially and all that stuff. Well, you know the deal. Well, just a quick note on this. Terry's been dealing with this company a long time, and he has lived in a lot of places over the years, in Texas and Oklahoma, and has a home in Hawaii, whatever. So he's waiting for this shipment and of this drug he has to take. Meanwhile, just his body aching all over from, let's face it, abuse playing professional football, and he's got severe. It's called rheumatoid arthritis. This is what it's called, whatever it is. Very, very painful. And he handles it pretty well. You wouldn't know it most of the time. And 3 straight days they've called, and the 3 straight days they promised they would ship it, and 3 straight days they had 3 different reasons why they didn't get it. And now they're really getting frustrated trying to figure it out. They had the doctor on the phone with the pharmacist, and they said, well, give us your address, and they gave him address, and said, that's not the right one. Another address, that wasn't the right. 16 addresses, and they had none of them on his record.
Well, how's he been getting if they don't have the right address, how's he been getting it?
He's been getting it by giving them his home address, but
Right,
suddenly it's
that's
a
what I
different person. The one person, and the doctor is on the line with him, by the way. So, and anyway, so he might be a bit under the weather today, and I would understand why. Anyway, we'll expect to talk to Terry here soon. A little bit about pro football, some of the hot and not hot quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, of course, now has got his 504th touchdown passes. He'll be passing Brett Favre soon. You got the story of Brian Hoyer, incredible comeback that the Browns had on the road. And then there's Geno Smith, which we'll talk about a little later on. And I've got my hot teams list of people, and you might be surprised of who my top 8 are. We'll see if Terry agrees with this. And then we'll look at this week's games. And then this is my favorite one. I'm setting Terry up with this. I call it the Great Hair Pull. And, of course, you know what I'm talking about, the issue of Sherman.
To me, it's not an issue.
I just have a text, by the way, from Terry Bradshaw that says, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Well, there you
go. And so I'm going to ask Terry, I'm telling everybody now, if he ever had a problem with getting his hair pulled.
He may hang up on you.
You think?
He might.
I bet he laughs. All right, so what's in the headlines today, Tom? Any good news for you? I could use some good news. And by the way, I'm in the process of, you can help me out this next 20 minutes, of putting together my talk for the night at the Ocala Quarterback Club. So give me some of your notes that you had when you spoke to the Touchdown Club in Gainesville.
Yeah, all mine were about Alabama.
That won't be any good.
That won't be any good.
Yeah, okay, all right, well, how about the headlines?
Adrian Peterson hopes to get on this field sooner than later, and a Texas judge on Wednesday has helped him along in that way by setting a tentative date of December 1st for the trial to begin in his child abuse charges. In his child abuse charge where he used a wooden switch to discipline his 4-year-old son in suburban Houston. Defense attorney Rusty Hardin said after the hearing that Peterson is chomping at the bit to defend himself publicly. So tentatively December 1st is the start of the trial. The San Francisco.
I don't have a good feeling about that. Do you?
I do.
You do?
I think I think if it had happened in California, I wouldn't have near good a feeling about. I think you're going to get 12 people in a Texas jury, and there's going to be some parents that will still whip their children. So I think that he's okay in Texas.
Well, we'll see when he says the truth comes out, and he'll be free. So we'll see.
After the San Francisco Giants backed into the playoffs, and let's go ahead and say that's what they did. They backed into the playoffs.
They did.
They beat the Washington Nationals to take a 3-1 series win into the National League Championship Series. Also last night, the St. Louis Cardinals beat Clayton Kershaw 3-2 to also get in the League Championship Series. So the American League Championship Series is the Giants versus the Dodgers, and the American League Championship Series is the Orioles versus the Royals.
What is wrong with Clayton Kershaw? As someone said today, he's the Peyton Manning of baseball.
He is. He wins in the regular season. Can't get it done. You know who else was like that? Greg Maddux. Pitched for the Braves, pitched for the Cubs. Got to the playoffs, couldn't pitch well in the playoffs.
I'm glad I didn't say that because you'd thrown something at me, but you say it's okay.
The truth is the truth. Finally, NFL owners agreed unanimously to make a dream come true for Terry Pegula and his wife Kim. They were unanimously approved by the NFL owners Wednesday as the new owners of the Buffalo Bills. The Pegulas, who already own the Buffalo Sabres, expect the sale to be finalized by the end of the week. So new Bill owners are a family that already have ties with the Buffalo area. They own the Buffalo Sabres. So all those people that were worried the Bills were leaving town, it looks like they're there for good.
And I'm glad. There's certain teams that belong to certain towns. And if you've ever been to Buffalo, and I know I have a number of times, not a number.
It's not the biggest city in the world, but the NFL has to be there.
It's their community team.
Yes.
Denver used to be that way. You know that Denver, they once had to go door to door to raise money to keep the team?
Yes.
Back in the AFL days?
But Denver is now a big metropolitan city.
Then back in the 60s.
But it's a big metropolitan city. Buffalo will never be a big metropolitan city.
There's an old joke in the NFL about, okay, don't mess with me, I'll ship you off to Buffalo. You know?
Right. And just like Green Bay will never be a big metropolitan city, but the Packers need to be there forever.
And I hope they have those small town feel to them.
Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, please move them now.
Well, it'd be too bad to see them leave, but I don't see any future for them in Jacksonville. I don't see any future for them, period.
Yeah.
So, all right, anything else there?
That's the headlines.
Okay.
No, but only because Will Muschamp at his press conference today said no new Treon Harris updates. Look at the statement the university put out on Monday. That's where we're at with Treon Harris.
Yeah, we're going to press tomorrow with our Southern Pigskin Tonight show, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. And the fact is that we don't know what's going to happen. It could be, who knows how long it will pass, but we think it's going to be weeks. On the other hand, we don't know what's going on.
No, we don't know.
So I'm going to assume, which is not something a journalist ever does, that the quarterback will be Jeff Driscoll, at least for the foreseeable future, which is probably not good news to Gator fans. I'm going to ask the quarterback club tonight what they think about that. What happened to Jeff Driscoll? Can he be salvaged, and what went wrong? Because we thought Kurt
he could be salvaged if he transfers to Ohio State, where Urban Meyer can get a hold of him. He can be salvaged.
You stole my line, didn't you? Right on there.
Oh, did I?
Yes, you did. I actually said it yesterday, but that's okay.
I never listen to what you say.
Yeah, you just goes in your ear and just back in your brain.
Gus Malzahn could use him.
Next year?
Yeah, next year.
He wouldn't fit that system.
You don't think?
Not quick enough.
Yeah, you're right. That's his problem. He's not as fast.
The thing I like about Kurt Roper's offense is it's based on quick decisions,
right?
Which is what Treon Harris did. Hey, we said this on the show.
That pass in the flat was a bam. There it is.
What did we talk about on this show for weeks? The last 2 weeks, Treon Harris makes quicker decisions. He fits Kurt Roper's offense. And what happened? Boom! It didn't take a genius to figure that out. And Driscoll is just like. He's just a step slow. He doesn't make decisions. He's got a great gift. He's got a great arm. He's got great legs. He can run. He can pass. But he just can't make good decisions, and he's always a half a count and doing what he's doing.
But in his defense last week, there were 9 drop passes, 7 that didn't go for interceptions, and 2 that turned into interceptions.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it.
They were still there. You can't deny that the receivers aren't very good either.
There's always a mindset about a quarterback that somehow he impacts the team emotionally and psychologically. I'm not saying it's his fault, but, why is it one quarterback can play and nothing happens, and one goes in and immediately things change?
Well, I've been in locker rooms before where players tried harder for one guy than they did another guy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you it happens.
It might be the case, but the bottom line is no matter why, I
don't think he should be the starter. I don't think he's the guy.
So anyway, all right, let's take a break, come back. We got Terry Bradshaw at the bottom of the hour and more to talk about here about lots of stuff right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source. Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself. Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's kt4fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house,
there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name. If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole-house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Join us for Carnival for a Cause this Saturday, October 11th from 10:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion's Outdoor Arena. All proceeds go to Hugs Charities, a local charity dedicated to assisting children with cancer, and 9-year-old Jalen Hadgel, who has reoccurring brain cancer. There will be great food, music, and fun for the entire family. The preceding message was brought to you by Urban Cardiology of Ocala.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Welcome back to Buddy Sports Page on a Wednesday afternoon. Here's a story that's not a lot of people hadn't heard about probably, but it happened in the Detroit Lions Buffalo Bills game on Sunday at Ford Field, and is now being investigated by the NFL. A league spokesman confirmed to the Associated Press that the NFL is trying to identify the culprit. The Lions had previously announced they were looking at the incident. The incident was a laser pointing incident. A laser hit several Bills players during the game, including quarterback Kyle Orton and holder Colton Schmidt. There's a video that shows the green laser hitting Orton directly in the face midway through the fourth quarter, and Orton goes immediately to the referee to complain. The referees get together and talk about it, then the game resumes. Orton, the holder, also did, and the NFL says they're investigating. They may not have to go far because Marco, M-A-R-K-O, Beslach, B-E-S-A-L-A-C-H, Marco Beslach.
That's not a real name.
Well, they think it may be a fake Twitter name.
I think so.
Said, you see a green light on the Bills players? Just laugh. It's me. Got Kyle Orton complaining to the refs when I got him with the laser. So that was 2 Twitter things. And although laser pointers are barred from stadiums and arena in all 4 major sports professionals, there's not much the NFL can do except ban the fan from attending if they find out who it is, buddy. Because Detroit police spokesman Sergeant Michael Woody told the AP using a laser pointer isn't illegal and there usually wouldn't be any charges filed. So I hate that the police said that out loud, because now people will be sneaking laser pointers into games all the time.
Let me ask you a question. Is this guy, whatever his name was, is he from Denver?
I don't know.
Because I just wondered maybe if he wasn't the guy that caused Kyle Orton all his problems with the Broncos.
It may be, but there's actually video of the laser in Kyle Orton's face.
Well, airline pilots deal with it all the time.
Well, that's illegal.
I know.
That's a federal law, but this is not, according to the Detroit police, this is not something that's illegal.
Well, it will be illegal one day. Maybe not in time for Kyle Orton, but interesting, all the things that go on at a ballpark like that. Meanwhile, I'm working on this list, and we've been working on this list now for 6 months, and we've gotten nowhere trying to come up with some names that aren't so obvious for the successors to Will Muschamp. As I said on this program, one of the reasons he didn't get fired was, who are you going to hire? And the other caveat is, you're not going to go hire a defensive coach, because I think Gator fans know now that doesn't work.
Right.
And the Gator fans, this is the same, Tom, you believe, you're a historian, you believe that history repeats itself, right?
It has similarities in passing of time. Yes.
Was it Santana who said that those who don't pay attention to history are doomed to repeat it?
Right.
Anyway, take me back 50-something years ago when the most conservative coach in the SEC was at Florida. His name was Bob Woodruff. 53 years ago. He even punted on 3rd down. Gator fans would go crazy because all he wanted to do was just basically not lose the game. And he once actually said this after a tie with Rice. Florida had the ball at midfield with a couple of minutes to go, score tied, I believe it was 10-10. Bob Woodruff ran the clock out to get the tie.
Really?
And asked after the game, they said to him, well, Coach Woodruff, why did you do that? He says, didn't you want to gamble? He says, I'll gamble to win, but never to lose.
But if it's 10-10, how are you gambling to lose?
I'll gamble to win, but never to lose. I'm just telling you. That's the point. You used to gamble. Have you ever tried that?
Did Coach Woodruff talk to Yogi Berra?
Yeah, really.
Berra?
Yeah.
And that sounds like a Berra thing.
So when Ray Graves came here, even though he was a defensive coach, he was in stone. He would throw the ball around, he would be wide open. This is why it's so important in history that he brought a guy named Pepper Rogers with him, former Georgia Tech quarterback. And right off the bat in the second game of the season, Florida played against Georgia Tech. It was a powerhouse.
Right, Tech was a powerhouse in the early 60s.
And Ray Graves came from there. Bobby Dodd's defensive coordinator.
Right.
And Bobby Dodd's son, Bobby Jr., played for the Florida Gators as a backup. Talk about connections.
Right.
The game was at Florida Field, one of the top 10 games of all time. I was at the game. And Florida scored late in the game, last couple of minutes, a guy named Lindy Infante.
Who ended up being an NFL head coach, by the way.
Green Bay Packers, who took the ball around the sweep and barely got in the corner and scored. Now they are down by 1 point. I believe the score was 17-16.
Well, you got to go for 2 there, don't you?
Well,
win the game.
This is all brand new. This is going for 2. We got to remember, this is a new rule. And who would think that the Florida Gators, who in the bastion of conservative under Bob Woodruff.
Oh, the 2-point play was a new play then?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
It's only been around for 5 or 6 years.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And so so the big moment was, what's he going to do? It's the litmus test. Now,
well, Bob Woodruff would have kicked the extra point.
Without question. The guy who said, I'll gamble to win but never to lose and went for a tie? I think so. So there's a famous picture of Ray Graves with his hand held high holding up the V sign for go for 2. And that almost sends chills down the Gator fans' back to thinking.
That sold Gator fans on Ray Graves was their guy.
At that point, and so what happened, Larry Liberatore was about 5'10 and a half and 160 pounds.
Just passed away, didn't he?
No, not Larry.
Who was the guy that passed away in McClenny?
That's Larry Dupree.
Okay, Larry Dupree.
This is a tiny quarterback from Miami.
Okay.
He takes a snap and scrambles around. He was a scrambler. Threw it to a guy in the end zone who caught the pass. His name was John Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
They win the game 18-17. And what's incredible further was Macbeth had just turned in a gambler who tried to get him to fix the game. Wow. His name was Aaron Wagman, the FBI. Nobody knew that then. This all came out that he was cooperating with the FBI, and he caught the 2-point play. Now, how's that for a history lesson?
Wow. There you go. That sounds like that may have been a chapter in The Boys from Old Florida.
It certainly was. And I talked to several people about that, including Lindy, etc. So my point is this. Florida fans have had enough of that sort of 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that Bob Neyland offense from Tennessee and all that stuff. And they wanted something different. And they got it. And they threw the ball around a little bit and whatever. And then, of course, Steve Spurrier came along. So, and the reason Spurrier didn't go to Tennessee was
they ran 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
They ran a single wing.
Right.
They ran a single wing. And
he liked to throw the ball around the yard.
Of course he did. So now the question becomes, if history has repeated itself, here we sit, Will Muschamp, probably not going to survive. Probably.
No.
Where do they go from here?
Well, that's an easy out, but can they get him? And that's you go to Stark Vegas and ask that guy to come. That's where you go. You go to Stark Vegas. He's already won here, and a lot of people say, I've talked to a lot of people that say, hey, remember, Urban Meyer didn't do too well after Dan Mullen left. When Dan Mullen went to Mississippi State, that's when the downturn of Urban Meyer started. So was it Urban Meyer or was it Dan Mullen that was the cog that made the wheel turn?
There's some of that, and of course they say they didn't win any national championship.
Right, that's what I mean. But remember, we got spoiled.
Of course,
we got that. That's the thing that gets me with Gator fans is Gator fans got spoiled thinking that 11 or 12 wins in a national championship was the only acceptable thing.
Yeah. But there's some names out there, and you'll help me because by the time
Dan Mullen's on the list.
He's on my list.
Got to be on your list.
I have one other one right now, which I'm going to hold off on after a while. But we got Terry Bradshaw coming up next. But it's hard to find.
The guy from Texas isn't coming here, by the way.
Charlie Strong?
Yeah, he's not coming.
No, he's not coming here. And by the way, neither is a guy from Texas A&M.
No, neither one of them.
He's making $5 million a year right now.
Everybody's like, well, what about Charlie Strong? Charlie's in good shape over there at
Charlie
Texas.
did not even get an interview for this job. And he's making a lot of money at Texas, and he's not leaving. So, all right. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. Terry Bradshaw will be with us on the Terry Bradshaw Football Show next on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant. Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiro. The first patient to be diagnosed with Ebola in the U.S. died this morning. Thomas Duncan's girlfriend is quarantined with her children. George Mason is her pastor.
It was a painful and difficult time for her. She reacted as almost anyone would, with great shock and despair.
U.S. officials will begin taking the temperatures of travelers from West Africa arriving at 5 U.S. airports starting Saturday. The Dow up 275 points on where the Fed will keep current interest rates in place.
The release of the minutes from the Fed's September meeting shows the members of its decision-making committee are divided over when the Fed should end its historically low interest rate policy.
Fox Business Network's Rich Edson. And the Pentagon says it has no plans to ask for ground forces in the fight against ISIS inside Syria. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Napa supports the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. And this month, we're making it easy for you to show your support too. Make any $25 purchase and you'll receive a free Napa Camo Racing Cap. For every cap we give out, we'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, supporting those who serve you. That's Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 11/16/14.
Let's get down to business. You don't travel too often for work, but when you do, you want to stay where you know you'll be taken care of. That's where Choice Hotels comes in. We have everything you need to keep you on top of your game, like free hot breakfast for that much-needed morning boost, free internet to keep you in touch with home base, and a generous loyalty program so you can earn great rewards. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Amenities vary by location.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Todd D. Lyle. He's a veteran, a leader in cloud computing with a focus on the human element. He's written a book called Grounding the Cloud.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then it's Veterans News. Hank Whittier will be here bringing you Veterans News as he does each and every Thursday.
Dr. Jenny Frings is a transformational speaker and the president and national spokesperson for Concerned Angels. She'll be speaking about her book, Blue-Eyed Ruse, and she'll be speaking about Concerned Angels.
And then Mike Kelly will be on. He's an award-winning journalist. He appeared on Hardball with Chris Matthews, the CBS Evening News, and the Bill Moyers Journal. He's written a book called The Bus on Jaffa Road, a story of Middle East terrorism and the search for justice.
Bruce Fife is a certified nutritionist and a naturopath. He's written a book called The Coconut Miracle Cookbook, over 400 recipes to boost your health with nature's elixir.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
The Terry Bradshaw Football Show is brought to you by Eaton Street Sandbar and Grill. Seating now available. Try their delicious Floresiana style of cooking. By Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood, one of North Central Florida's finest eating establishments. By La Cuisine, in the charming setting of historic Ocala, imagine yourself in a Parisian bistro. By Prestige Auto Sales of Ocala and Bellevue, go see why they call Chris Spears the Yes Man. And by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank and great patron of the community activities. And now, here's Terry. How are you, TB?
What you say, buddy?
No Ed McMahon here.
Yeah, you know you are my personal favorite, right?
I knew you had to get that in there someplace.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So what's going on?
Well, I was going to ask you the same thing.
Okay.
I think we got a bad connection, though, and we're going to hang up and call you back on your cell phone. If that's
Really?
okay. Yeah.
I don't even know where.
Getting feed. You got your cell phone handy?
I'll go get it. I just got a brand new iPhone today.
Oh, can you work it?
I will have to. Let me go get it.
Same number, and we'll call you on that number, right?
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right, cousin. All right, so we've got, after all that build-up, we got to get him on the phone that works, so we get a little feedback on that. And, of course, we do have to get that squared away because, obviously, this show here, Tom, go over here, and you can take this number and give Mr. Bradshaw. He's in, by the way, Oklahoma, and he is hopefully feeling better. Sounds like he is, at least, because of his issues he's got with his medication. And so he will be he'll join us in just a moment here. We'll cover the league, what's going on with the league. Also, I can't wait to get into the whole story about the hair pulling incident. We talked about some in the first segment. And, of course, he gives us his update on the quarterback situation, how they're all doing. So we'll be joined by him in just one moment. And if you'll call this number right here here you go. It's this number right here, the second one. We'll get Terry back on the program. Meanwhile, as we said, tonight we'll be speaking to the Ocala Quarterback Club, talking about coaches who might be successors if there needs to be. I don't know. I had a person tell me who's not necessarily that close to the program, but someone who follows it in Gainesville, who knows many of the players. He says, I think Will Muschamp has really turned this program around in terms of the players and the character of the players. He said if he'd give him a chance, I think he'd get it done in one more year. The question is whether or not people are willing to give him another chance. It's going to be a situation where I think his time has run out, and ultimately he's going to have to get some results on the offensive side of the ball, as Jeremy Foley told us when we talked to him earlier this year. He knows he's got to get that fixed, because it's definitely a problem and something that they're going to have to be able to move the football. And, of course, the trigger man can't be Jeff Driscoll. He's got to have to be somebody else, and now we know it's not going to be Treon Harris. So we will go back now and see if we got Mr. Terry Bradshaw. Let's do it again. Here's Terry. Does this sound better?
Hey, buddy.
Well, you sound better. Hey, Terry.
That better? I got a brand new line. I don't know what happened.
Well, it sounds good. If you just talk on that telephone there, it'd be great. Appreciate it. Terry, just to make sure we get it all in, because we're going to be up against the clock, I want to make sure we do. Give me your thoughts on a couple of things. First of all, how about them Cowboys, 4-1? Their defense, Tony Romo. What's happened there to the Cowboys?
Well, I think there's two things that happened. They started running the football. I think everybody knows that if you have a runner like DeMarco Murray, you run him, and when you have success, don't get away from it. And they had a tendency, and have always had a tendency, to run, but they're a team that likes to throw first. And now
All right, Terry, stand by 1 second. We're having more problems with difficulty on hearing you on now on your cell phone. It's just not our day, I think. Get in a good spot, sit there, and we'll go back to that question.
I haven't budged. Can you really not hear me?
Good. You're good now. Go ahead. Just stay right where you are. Don't move. And I want to get to Tony Romo and running the football, DeMarco Murray, and that's made him a better quarterback, hasn't it?
Oh, I mean, buddy, seriously, it's not a secret to this game. There are very few Peyton Mannings that can control an offense at the line of scrimmage and be as accurate and throw the football as often as he does. Dallas has a great running back, and their failure was in the fact that they gave up on running the football when they didn't have early success with it. And it was almost like, all right, look, we tried to run it here, and they use it as an excuse to throw. Now they're staying with their running game. Sets up it's same old stuff. Sets up your play action, gives your quarterback time to play. It rests your defense, and they have young players on that offensive line. Then you flip it over, and you get a young defense that nobody knows that much about. Claiborne loses his job at corner. Scandrick comes in and takes his place. Carr comes in the slot, and then Scandrick goes back to the slot. Carr goes to the outside. I mean, they've done a wonderful job of mixing their personnel up along with, and I think they have kept it pretty simple, buddy. I think defensively, they're not a real complex team, and when you're not a real complex team, players can focus in, lock in on their responsibilities, and execute. And I think that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, Cowboy fans are excited, but you got to be careful because it could be fool's gold there. You never know with these Cowboys, do you? So,
well, buddy, they're 4-1, and they've got to go to Seattle now. Let's see how they do against Seattle. If they beat Seattle, boy, they're going to get everybody's attention. Right now, people are just saying, let the division get started when they play the Giants and Philly and we'll see how they do.
Yeah, and we're going to get into those picks because you are still doing good, my friend. On this program.
I'm smoking hot, buddy.
You are smoking hot. Exactly right. You're really rocking here. Let's get into the quarterback situation. Who's hot? Who's not? Russell Wilson just keeps on getting it done. NFC Offensive Player of the Week. I don't know. A lot of people are saying maybe he's the premier quarterback. Terry, where does he stand in the pecking order? I know Peyton Manning's still the king, but what about Russell Wilson?
He's a Fran Tarkenton. I mean, Fran was a scrambler. This kid's a runner. He's just a poised guy, buddy. He's great feel for the game, great field presence. Why didn't he spin to the right, but he spins to the left? Why did he do that? He has incredible instincts, he has incredible poise, accurate as all get out, and he can throw on the run and throw from the pocket. Great play action guide, great read option. He's no Cam Newton. He's not 6'4", 240. Doesn't run a 4.4 40. But he has a great command of the offense and a great command on the football field, and just a young guy that you can trust. He's going to perform, and that's special. Would you like for him to be 6'3"? Yeah, but I kind of like bragging on him at 5'11".
Yeah, he's got good instincts too. I think he's
awesome.
Feels the backside pressure. Right. Peyton Manning. He's getting close to your old buddy Brett Favre, a guy you've always liked all those years, and his record, 504 touchdown passes. He's going to break Favre's record. Did you see this coming from Manning 10 or 15 years ago?
Buddy, I never thought about 500 touchdowns or 50,000 yards passing. That wasn't my focus. And the way we played football back in the 70s, if you threw for 25 or 30,000 yards, that's a pretty good career. So it's kind of the way our league is now. And then you have special players like Drew Brees and Peyton and Brady, and they do a great job of throwing the football. Man, it's about the best thing I can say. They do a great job of throwing the football and command of the offense. And they have great players around them.
Yeah. They also have a lot more liberal rules.
That's what I thought about.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, Terry, that if you can hear me, Terry, well, the other thing is that the rules are a whole lot different for you than they were now, because you could basically mug receivers back when you played, and of course you can't touch them now. So,
well, you're hear that phone ringing, buddy?
Is that the White House? The White House calling.
Oh man, you know who that is?
Don't tell
who that is. I can't. That's Dr. James Andrews.
Oh, your doctor calling from. Do you have to take it?
Yeah, hold it.
Okay.
No, I don't have to take it.
Okay.
I put him on mute.
All right. We're gonna go through this as fast as we can to get you out, because this is gonna be one of those days where the gremlins are everywhere. Give me a couple of short answers on this one.
Here comes my wife. She's gonna answer the phone.
Okay. Thanks, Tammy.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy, you know what this is? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear? You can hear me?
Yes.
We've got a full moon, buddy. A full moon.
Here we go.
Everything. I missed a turn coming to the ranch today. Everything's been late. I haven't had any medicine. I can't get the pharmacy to release my medicine. So I'm a week behind on taking a rheumatoid arthritis medicine. I mean, you wouldn't believe cows having twins, horses dying. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. So. Full moon. Now the phones don't work. It's full moon, buddy.
You said this last time on the full moon. We talked about it. You really believe this stuff. I know.
I know for a fact. I know for a fact. I mean, I pulled an all-nighter last night, buddy.
All-nighter. Oh, my goodness.
I didn't have to get up and go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's a big night for you. Speaking of full moons and weird things, how about Brian Hoyer? You there, Terry?
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of full moons, Brian Hoyer must have had one with the Browns. Biggest road comeback in history. How about that?
Well, is it the biggest road biggest road comeback? You're right.
Yeah.
That was amazing, buddy. I picked the Browns to win that game. It was 28-7, and everybody was laughing at me. And I went, "Hey, just pick them, go with a hunch." And man, what an awesome job they did to come back like that. So yeah.
All right.
Hey, buddy, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Games like that lead teams to believe that they're better than what they actually are. So that's a good win.
Good point. One quick comment on Geno Smith, who's having clock issues, says he was late to a meeting because of the time change.
Well, it's not funny, and he should know better than that. And he's not exactly lighting the world on fire playing for the Jets. That's inexcusable, buddy. Just shows you're not professional, shows you're not dedicated to your job. If you want to watch movies, stay back at your room and look at game tape and make sure you got third down and goal lines. And but to miss a team meeting, that's immaturity, and that's just that's a guy that's not dedicated to a profession. So
all right.
Said all the right things when it was over with, but listen. You know for a fact I never was a Geno Smith fan.
I know you were.
I don't know him personally, but I never was a Geno Smith fan.
Yeah.
And I haven't been impressed with him in his first 2 years in New York. So.
All right, let's get right to your picks. We're running out of time. If we don't get your picks now, we'll be done, and I won't get you.
Man.
You're on fire, man. You're on fire. What was the record I got in front of me? You were only 4-4 last week, but overall, you are 11-6 on this show, Terry. 11-6. College and pro picks.
Smoking hot, buddy.
You are. Let's
smoking
go.
Hot.
Let's go.
I picked Mississippi to beat Alabama. I pick Mississippi State to beat? Yeah.
Mississippi State, you pick. Yeah. All right, here you go. This is Carolina at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is an 8-point favorite. Who you like there?
I'm Cincinnati. That's easy.
Right. Green Bay, Miami.
That's easy. Green Bay. That's easy.
All right. Baltimore is a favorite at Tampa Bay.
Baltimore, absolutely.
All right.
That's easy. Give me one. Give me a hard one.
Well, this is a good one.
Easy.
I
hope all our listeners are writing this down because I'm not going to miss any of these.
The lines in Vegas are quaking as we're speaking. Giants at the Eagles. Eagles a 2.5-point favorite. Who do you like? It's a tough game. Who do you like here?
All right. I'm going to go with the Eagles at home. Absolutely.
And finally, you mentioned it before. The Cowboys go to Seattle. I don't see any way they win in Seattle. That's a tough place to play, but I'm not picking. You are. What do you think?
Piece of cake, Seattle.
I think you're right.
I'm 5-0, buddy. I won't lose one of them.
You might not. You might not.
I'm not.
You want to try a couple college games?
Arrogant and cocky. No, I'm there. I'm there, buddy.
All right, couple college games real quick.
What?
All right.
Let me have them.
All right, let's go. Auburn, Mississippi State, number 2 and number 3 ranked teams. Auburn at Mississippi State. Who you like?
I'm going to go with
tough one.
You know what? I believe in destiny. I'm going with Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. All right. Ole Miss at Texas A&M.
I'm going to go with I'll go with Texas A&M.
All right. One more. We got to move to the final segment, final minute.
All right.
Georgia at Missouri.
Georgia at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
I think Georgia's. Yeah, they found their pace. I'm going with Georgia.
All right, Terry, we got about 45 seconds to get this in. Richard Sherman.
What you want?
Richard Sherman, the cornerback, said that Washington's Pierre Garçon pulled his hair, and he says, the Redskins receiver says it doesn't matter in this league. Hair pulling, okay? Here's the deal. Did you have this problem when you played in the NFL?
I didn't. Well, no, I didn't. I never had this problem. I was, tuck it under your helmet or get a haircut. Richard. I love Richard Sherman, but that hair hanging out there like that, yeah, I can see Clay Matthews, Richard Sherman. I can see some guys getting, upset that you're dominating them and pull hair.
I would be. Wouldn't you be tempted? Yeah, I'd be tempted to pull the guys down by the hair.
No, I would never do that.
Well, if he's scoring for the winning touchdown, he's going to score. You got to do something.
I have.
Come on, Terry.
I've had people. No, I've had people say some bad things to me, and I've had a few blows delivered in the pile, but nothing like that.
Nothing that. But if he's going for the winning touchdown, your defender, you wouldn't stop him by his hair?
No.
By the way, it's not against the rules. You know that, don't you? There's no rule.
Well, it's not against the rules right now until some players start losing.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Their extensions and everything, and so
TB, right now, give me the 3 hottest teams in the NFL right now, real quick. Hottest teams in the NFL.
Hottest in the NFL: San Diego, Dallas, and I would probably go with. I'll stay with. I'm going to say Seattle.
All right.
I will. I'll say
right.
Seattle.
That's a good one.
I'm pretty safe. I'm pretty safe right there.
You are very safe. Be careful. It's full moon out there now. Okay. Because
I know, buddy. I told you I pulled an all-nighter.
Oh my goodness! I'll call you after the show and you can tell me about it. Terry, thank you appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Terry Bradshaw, the Terry Bradshaw Football Show. We'll take a break. Return for the final. We're done. That's it. We're done. We're out of time. Thanks to our guests tonight. Thanks to Terry Bradshaw.
We're not out of time, but we're not taking a break. The next break will be out of time.
All right, then we're not taking a break. Okay.
No, we got about 2.5 minutes left of the show.
Catch me. So. That was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a blood moon.
I'm telling you, sometimes it works smooth and sometimes it doesn't. But hey, Terry's always good no matter what.
You know, you're not the one that has to worry about making that sound good, pal.
For a guy who was, it's only my voice. Watch that care.
Yeah.
My show, watch that care about, right? I just want to say that it's not bad for a guy who's been in a lot of pain the last 48 hours.
It's pretty good. The phone ringing in the background is priceless.
It's Dr.
James Andrews.
Yeah, just to drop a name. The most famous knee surgeon in the world, probably. So.
Right, and I know that you were going to. You said you were going to call Terry after the show.
Mm-hmm.
Terry said, "Give him a little bit. He's got a guest coming over."
I'm giving him nothing.
I'm just okay. All right,
I'm called after. All right.
Hey, well, now where are you headed now? You're headed somewhere.
You know where I'm headed. I'm going over to this quarterback club. This is my speech right here on this little. This is it.
Mine was on my my tablet.
Not a yellow sticky like that is.
No, it's not a yellow sticky.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing some Mike McGinnis. Of course, Mike is a big-time replay official in the SEC now. You know that.
I know.
And I heard his name mentioned the other night. What was that? Which game was that? Tennessee game, Florida game? No, it wasn't Tennessee, Florida. Anyway, he goes around the league and he works as a replay official, and he's been doing this for a while, and he's going to be he's kind of like the captain of the quarterback club these days.
Do you think all in all now that replay's been in college football now for 4 or 5 years now?
No, it's been longer than that, hasn't it?
Hadn't been much longer than that. But do you think all in all now that replay they get it right almost every time?
I think so. There are certain times when you just can't see and you don't know, and I'd rather just say, I like there's not enough evidence rule.
I mean, like the Ole Miss interception. That was clearly an interception. Yeah. They called incomplete, and they went back to the camera and got it right.
Yeah, I think they get it right a large majority of the time. I don't like that it takes so long sometimes.
It does take a while sometimes.
But I'd rather get it right, and it does break the momentum sometime. But, I like getting it right. That's always good, and like that very much. So, we've got Southern Pigskin Tonight show coming up tomorrow night at 6.
Tomorrow at 5.
5, that's right. Tomorrow it used to be at 6. And
right.
then at 3 o'clock, Ask the Cops. We'll have Major Don Maines and Chief Greg Graham here with us. My mouth's about worn out here.
And you have to go speak now.
I got to go speak. I think maybe I can do it in sign language. You think?
Do you know American Sign Language?
How about if I could just hold you up and just and act
like a ventriloquist?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
No. Some people think we sound like on the radio, which I haven't figured out yet.
I haven't figured that out yet either.
I want to thank our guest today. It's really a good segment having the Peaks.
The Peaks were great.
Bryce and Albert Peak coming in during the real estate show, and also
the mayor hanging out a little longer.
Mayor hung out a long time, and he brought coffee. Of course, it's always good. And of course, you heard the inimitable Terry Bradshaw, who was battling the full moon. I guess he had a horse die, he said something last night.
He had a horse die, cow having twins.
Bunch of stuff. So, yeah.
You know when a cow's having 2 calves at one time, you got a lot going on.
All right, on behalf of my broadcast partner, Tom Schmitz, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.thebriggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square,